Right.
We're live.
Testing, testing.
1, 2, 3. I see green lights,
Let me see.
green lines, green bars.
There's the chat window. Nope, wrong one. There we go.
Questions.
Let's pop that open.
There we go.
We have got a nice big crowd on. We're going to get started here in just a second. We're just getting everything set up. Let me see if I can get the webcam working.
This out of the way.
Don't make any funny faces because you're about to be live on camera. Oops. Dragging the microphone is probably really loud. Oh, that's dark.
Or dark. That's okay. We can go outside in a minute.
All right. All right, let's see here. So we've got lots of comments. Hello, Gabriel, Tina, Anna Marie, Dawn, Christine, Christopher, Ali, Shaniska, Anas, the Reverend Bill and Julie from Wisconsin, Shannon, Ralph, waiting for name.
Jazz and Brent, Jay Judge, Don, Scott.
Christopher says, how do I type in here? I think you got it.
Yep.
All right, cool. Cindy says,
People
hi,
from
Rob.
everywhere.
Hi, Cindy. All
Hello
right.
from San Diego.
What time in Bali? It is 8:04 a.m. right now in Bali.
It's early.
All right. So it sounds like everybody can hear us. We've got lots of highs, lots of hellos. Can everybody see the screen? Can you see our lovely faces? Awesome. All right. Cool. Should we start?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, let me move this video out of the way so I can see the screen. All right, so this is the kickoff training session for Profit Engine, the official Profit Engine program. And we've got a few photos on the screen here. We've got, there's Bonnie there on the right. There's Gary and I on the right. There's Gary's original breakout screenshot, the first time he had his big success. There's Robbie's Rolex there. And there is a shot of the first Bali mastermind. We're standing in front of, was it a banyan tree?
Yeah, huge big banyan tree, like holy trees here in Bali.
And so let's go ahead and jump into it. This week is the kickoff training session. This is building your foundation. The official course starts next Friday. So you're the early bird members who joined very soon, took action, so good job. And this week we're going to jump into setting you up for success. So let's jump into what we're going to cover today. First of all, we're going to talk about how you can follow us. I hope I don't look stupid because now I can't see the webcam.
Better it's out of your mind.
Yeah. So we're going to show you how you can follow us on social media so you can be more connected and get engaged with us outside of the weekly live sessions. We're going to take you on a quick tour around. We'll just show you quickly around Gary's villa, at least the upstairs, and we'll kind of move the camera so you can see everything, get an idea where we're coming from. And we'll talk about what you can expect in the coming weeks. We're going to reveal a few surprises that we have in store. Then we're going to go through a session on how you can prepare yourself for success this week, the things that we'll have you do. And then we're going to go through the 30,000-foot view, the profit mind map in detail, and explain to you the mindset, the pathway, and the process that you're going to take so that you can have the most success. And then at the end, we're going to do what we're calling a catching up session. So this is for the beginners, people that have very little experience, just kind of walking through the process and explaining the very basics. So for some of you, it might be, you might hop off before that. For those of you who aren't familiar with any of the basics of internet marketing or making money online, you can ask any questions that you have, and we'll try and go through it very slowly and clearly. And everybody, you can all ask questions throughout this session. We have a lot of people on. It looks like we've got over 500 people on this training session. So we will do our best to get to as many questions as we can. But when I asked a yes or no question, I saw a wall of yeses. So we're going to be as interactive as possible as we can through the course of the following 8 weeks after this, so that we can get all of your questions answered as needed, so that we can lead you on the path to help you have success, and we can make sure that you get whatever help that you need. So just to give you an idea, our team has grown quite a bit in the last few years. The backstory, we originally called this Rise Academy, so you'll hear the terms Rise Academy a lot because our past members and who are also students went through Rise Academy, so they refer to Rise Academy. So you'll see in videos and stuff, that's where it comes from. Profit Engine is the next version of Rise Academy. We've taken everything from the past few years that we've learned together with our students, together with our group of super affiliate mentors. We introduce you to 6 of them, but there's actually there's several others, and you'll meet them as well throughout the course of the next 8 weeks. And with the help of all of them, we've over time we've built up our strategies and perfected our strategies. And by the way, they're never totally perfect. It's always changing. So sometimes things change. You never know. If something changes in the middle of 8 weeks, well, we'll adapt to it. So you're part of our family now. So we all change as things change. So we've got our network of everybody who's advertising and running ads. The hive brain. We'll get into that. That'll be part of the profit mind map, the 30,000 foot view.
Yep.
So you're in store for a really special treat. This is going to be very exciting, and our goal for you is for you to get to your breakthrough as quickly as possible. Okay, but there is a process that we need to go through, so we can't just dump it all on you right from the start. We've learned from the beginning, when we used to do this, in the beginning, we just tried to dump everything on like from the start, and people didn't have success. And so the way that we do it now is we teach you weekly, this, enough that you can do your homework, you can get caught up on that piece and make sure that you're moving with the group. And then by the end of the initial core training section, you'll have everything in place so you can start running ads, but you won't be overwhelmed, and you're not going to have a bunch of stuff dumped on your head all at once, because that tends to cause less success.
Yeah.
And so this method is how we've managed to crank out so many successful students. That's a weird way to word it.
All right.
But so anyway.
But yeah, there's a lot of people on here who are mentioning, like, I'm an absolute newbie, I'm a total rookie. Like, you guys don't have to worry about any of this. We understand that a lot of you starting out from the beginning. It was one of the great things, and probably one of the most compelling parts of our training, is the fact that the majority of our mentors started out just like you. They were complete newbies, or they had just minimal success or experience at this, and we were still able, and we continue to make it possible for just ordinary people coming from all walks of life. Like Nick, we mentioned, was a flooring contractor, 26-year-old guy out of Sacramento, California, who came in and turned his life around, and now a couple weeks ago, he said he made over $270,000 in last month, $23,000 in one day. Bonnie, 62-year-old grandma, she'd never made any money online either, and she was technically challenged, and she had all of these challenges when she came in. She's not a special case for us. We didn't give her preferential treatment or anything. She went through the program, and she actually had less than what we're going to be offering you this time around. She had everything that she needed, obviously, because she ended up making $160,000 in her first 90 days. She had a $13,000 day. I think, so it's not like you have to be experienced. Don't get caught up in that. It's not necessary. And a lot of what this week's training is, this early bird training session, is to help bring all of you guys up to the same level. So we begin, when we kick things off next Friday, everybody has that minimum required learning, like you understand the overview, you understand what ads are, you understand what the funnel looks like, and you understand some of the basic stuff. So we're definitely going to be getting into that, so nobody has to worry about that.
So I'm going to skim through. There's a bunch of questions, so I'm just going to get them out of the way before we run through the list. So let's see. I had, all right. Jody says this is actually live. Yes.
Yes, it's live.
Leanne says you guys both look cool. Don't worry. Ronnie says, why are you dragging out? The training's over such a long period. Actually, to get to running ads will be in the first 3 weeks of the training. Right. So we're not trying to drag it out. We're trying to give you as much as possible. Several people said, is this being recorded? Yes, it is. Jody says, will we need a funnel builder? No, you don't. Not for our methods. We have templates that we're going to give you, so just use ours. Jay Judge says, when is the Vegas meetup? We're thinking probably September or October, but we'll give you the specific dates as we can arrange things. We have to talk to several of our friends who have thrown events in Vegas and find out, how we can give you the best experience. But we will keep you updated on that. Several people were saying that they are rookies or newbies. So yeah, we will cover the stuff in the catching up session that might help you as well. Let's see. Salim says, please take my name once if you can see my message in all caps. So there you go, Salim. John says, will there be a Facebook private group page? We don't do Facebook groups because we're advertising. Facebook is one of the platforms we advertise on, and we do open up new ad accounts sometimes, so we don't want them to know how we do that. So we do all of the group interaction through the webinars, and that's been how we've had the most success with helping the most people. And we have our mentors who help us out with that stuff. So what we found in the past, we've done courses before and we've done Facebook, and I'll just address this. Sure. Gary and I are really bad at Facebook groups. And what tends to happen is a Facebook group slowly turns into a glorified support group. And so instead of doing that, we brought on a bunch of past students who've come up through Rise Academy, and now they are part of our support desk. So you get help directly from past students in the support desk, as well as us here on these sessions. After these sessions, we will continue with live Q&As. We've been doing live Q&As for the past 2 to 3 years. So we will continue with live Q&As after that. We bring on our mentors for the live Q&As as well. Let's see, Penny says, does the volume seem low to anybody else? Can everybody just type in and let us know if the volume is okay? Can you hear our voices okay? Lots of yeses. Okay, sounds like generally the volume is good. Let's see, how long is tonight's session? I'm not really sure. We're just kind of going with it.
Well, we were planning on 90 minutes, but sometimes they run long.
Yeah, and this will be recorded, so we will post it in the members area. So Rick says, who do we have access to when we have questions? So I think I answered that. You can message the support desk, and we will also answer questions on these live sessions. Kathy says, very glad there's no Facebook group. Me too. That stuff goes nuts. It can be a distraction. So, but we will have interactive stuff that we do over the course of these 8 weeks. So don't worry about, you will be included. Let's see. Oh, Geraldo says the support page wasn't working. The link in the members area was broken. We noticed that this morning. Several of our support group let us know. And it's just we had the link to the wrong page. So it's to the Kayako support desk. So support.profitengine.com will be up as soon as they get the SSL certificate, blah, blah, blah in place. So the link should be updated this morning. But you can always go to support@profitengine.com, send an email, and that's the same thing as going to the support desk. Let's see.
Just to be clear, that's support@profitengine.com, right?
Yeah, okay, cool. So the rest of the stuff I think we can jump into in as we get to it. So let's start running through this. So first thing, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to follow social media. You can get on YouTube. And we will post these links in the members area as well. So each week we'll post the recording of the live session, and we'll post any related materials that you have so that you can refer back. You can always refer back to the members area to get access to everything. And then if you have any questions, of course, you can message the support desk and they'll help you out there. And if it's something that they don't know, then they'll reach out to us and we'll make sure everybody gets helped. So you could go follow on YouTube. That's probably the first place to go, and it's bit.ly/GaryTube. So it's bit.ly/GaryTube. This little pop-up will show that says subscribe. So just click that subscribe link and you will subscribe to Gary's YouTube channel.
There should be a little bell in there somewhere that you can click on as well so that you get notifications. We do put out a lot of, we have tons of content planned to go out over YouTube. So
we've already recorded a bunch of video podcasts. We've done various video content. You can follow Gary on Instagram, just instagram.com/Gary Kramer. You can see his daily stories and you can see stuff he posts over there. Again, just go over to Instagram. If you do Instagram, then just click the follow link. Facebook, go to facebook.com/Gary Kramer and follow Gary on Facebook. And we also have our blog that we're slowly building out, and that's the Ultimate Freedom blog at ultimatefreedom.com that has a lot of video content and different stuff posted.
Yeah, and just keep in mind that we are going to be running contests and challenges to you guys over the next 8 weeks. And a lot of that content is exclusively posted through social media. So if you want to be part of any contests, winning cash prizes, and also just engaging with us on a deeper level, that's a good way to get updates on that stuff.
Engaging with us on a crackhead level.
Yes.
On social media. Okay. So let's take a quick tour.
All right. Of this place, yeah?
Yeah,
if
it's Profit Engine headquarters.
Sunny out there.
I'll just carry the microphone.
I'm gonna pull back the curtains.
Wait, hang on. Let me get the webcam so I can see what they're seeing.
Okay.
Where is it?
Is it still on?
I hope so.
Help me hold this.
Webcam. Oh, that's gonna turn it off.
We're technically challenged.
There it is. We still managed. There it is.
There we go. Hopefully it's not too sunny out here.
All right.
Okay, let's do this. Head outside here. We are in Bali right now, by the way. I live in Ubud, Bali, and this is my jungle villa here, where Rob and I have been hanging out for the last few days together.
You?
Yeah, we are.
I can't see the screen; it's so bright out here.
Yeah, we're about 200 or 300 steps up from a river. There we go.
You're in the way.
I'm in the
There you go. I don't know if they can see.
Yeah.
So there's down there. Over here is where you're building some.
Yeah, we have about a dozen staff down there building a big Zen garden and sort of like nature thing.
Let me see if I can get around there.
Oh, my place. Yeah, it's okay.
So you can
anyway, they can see pretty good.
So
step back inside out of the light here.
That is Profit Engine headquarters.
Yep. Hold on a second. I'll let you take it.
I don't know if you even heard me because I was talking behind the microphone. All right, back inside.
We're technically challenged too, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn off the webcam.
Okay, bye.
So that we don't have any lag.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was just a quick tour, just for fun.
Yeah, we are in Bali. In the future, we'll be doing Bali masterminds. Like Rob mentioned, we did a Bali mastermind here in Bali a few months ago. It was in 2017, actually. And then we'll be running another one here later in the year for anybody who's ever had dreams of traveling around the world to a tropical location like Bali and spending, a week or two over here, in paradise. You will have a chance probably in the future to do that.
Okay, cool. So, all right, so let me run through. So we have a lot of questions going through. Bobby posted the same question about 5 times. How do we, or when do we mix in Commission Rocket with this program or any of the bonuses? It's a separate course, so you can sign up for Mark's Commission Rocket. It's not intended to be run with Profit Engine.
It's more like a
separate method. So he has his own approach, so you can do that on the side, or you can do Profit Engine, just Profit Engine. It's up to you. So the bonuses, there's in the members area, there should be a link where you could go, and for Commission Rocket, you can sign up for the link there. You click on the link and register, and you can get that bonus. Any bonuses that from affiliates that promoted us, they will deliver their bonuses directly to you. So you will get in touch with them and they'll give you your bonuses. Will all training sessions be on Friday night? I'm not sure yet. Our next one will probably be on next Friday night, and then after that we may adjust them a little here and there. We'll play it by ear.
We'll primarily try to keep it on Fridays, just because that way you guys can anticipate and plan for it every week. But occasionally something might come up where we have to shift around a little bit.
How long does support take to respond? We're trying to go. Right now it's a little bit. It might be a little bit delayed because we're in the middle of the launch, so we've got a lot of questions come in. The most questions usually come in when people are brand new.
Yeah, very beginning.
So they are busting their butts right now.
Looks like the turnaround time is really still pretty good right now, all things considered. Throughout the 8-week training, it should be quite fast, a couple hours at the most. Occasionally, like we always say, occasionally, depending on the day of the week, whether it's on the weekend and things like that, it could take up to 24 hours. But generally, we can get back to you in a few minutes. Our goal is always less than 2 hours. But
okay, we should probably jump into it. We could do more Q&A later on.
Sure.
Or we could be answering questions the whole night or the whole day. So let's talk about what to expect in the coming week. So after this week, next week, and the next 3 weeks, we will be covering the Profit Engine Blueprint, the 3 steps. Okay, each week we're going to walk you through how you can set up each element of your profit engine, so that the goal is by the end of the first 3 weeks, you'll be able to start running ads. Okay, so we want you to start off slowly. Okay, the way that we work is we test small, and we make sure that it's making money, and then once it's making money, we scale up. So we test variations with a very small budget, and if it's not working, we stop that campaign and we start a new campaign. And the idea is to find that ad campaign that is going to be your breakthrough ad campaign that you can scale up. Okay, so that'll be our goal in the first 3 weeks, is to show you how to get that first ad campaign.
And just to kind of expand on that just a tiny little bit, what that looks like is basically like a 3-day campaign where you're testing an offer, and we'll explain to you how to set up the offer and all the little different pieces of it, your ad and your pre-sale page, all pointing to an offer. We teach you each one of those things, but just so you kind of understand, it's going to be about 3 days of you testing ads at about ranging from $5 a day to $20 a day, and based on that test, you're going to know whether that ad is going to be quote unquote successful or not. And what we use as a qualifier for that is whether, what your ROI is, or if you watched the presentation earlier, Rob described that or explained what that means. That's your return on investment. So if you're investing $5, our goal for you is to turn that into $10. And if you're investing $20, our goal is to turn that into $40 at minimum. So our goal is 100% ROI. So what that means, let's say that you run an ad and you break even. So there would be no return on it, it'd be 0%, right? So you spend $20 and you make $20. So you're just at even. You wouldn't want to scale up at that point. But once you tweak your ad based on our teachings, our trainings, and you get it up to that 100% ROI, that's when you start scaling. So we'll get into those details. So all of that will begin after the third week.
Exactly. So after the 3rd week, you'll be able to start running ads. And then after that, the trainings after that, we'll get into details of scaling up. We'll get into case studies. We'll get into some of the more advanced stuff. We'll bring on guest speakers to help get into areas that you can tweak and improve to get even more profit. And we'll talk just a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff that'll help you to have more and more success.
Yes, we'll be introducing you to the mentors and to the Hive brain and to all the feedback loops and stuff that can plug you into success. Explain everything to you.
Okay, so here's a few surprises that we have in store. We did mention the Las Vegas event. Okay, we will give you details on the Las Vegas event as those details come. just to answer questions, as early bird members, you do get access to the Las Vegas event. Okay. We will, we'll just have to give you the details as we go.
Yeah, as Rob mentioned, our last live event we did was not that long ago, and we did charge $10,000, and within, I believe it was like 2 days or something like that, we've hit capacity and we weren't able to take any more people in. That's why we decided to move it to Las Vegas this year, because much bigger place. We can basically bring on anybody who wants to show up from our students, anybody can show up. And we figured, really our goal is to give everyone the success that we possibly can, to elevate your chances of success. And we found, like, through the Bali event, that the people who showed up, they just had a lot of them had success. And so we just thought, if our goal is to help everyone achieve success, then what better way to do that than to get you in person with us so we can answer your questions and really inspire you to succeed. And so the best way for us to do that is to bring you to Vegas. It's a better centralized location where everyone can make it. It's a lot easier. Flights out there are cheap. Accommodations out there are cheap, and it allows us to accommodate our entire community of students. That's really exciting for us. We enjoyed so much bringing people to Bali. Now, for those of you, I guess, jumping down to the bottom there, for those of you who would rather come to Bali with us, and I saw one of the students,
or also come to Bali,
or also one of the students on the call here today was asking why Bali. Well, the reason is because Rob and I both live here. This is like where we've chosen to set up our shop for the moment. We travel around Asia, we travel around the world, through Europe, and this is just the most amazing place for anybody who hasn't been to Bali. Look it up on YouTube, or follow us on social media, and you'll see what some of our experiences are like here. It's amazing here. All of our students who came over here last year for the Bali Mastermind, as you can see in the photo right there, all lounging around, and learning all these.
By the way, Gary, he pointed to the photo when he said, "As you can see the photo."
As you can see, right. For those of you who can't see me.
Yeah, you can see that was a very small event. We were in a what do they call those? The little yoga thing. There's like a name for it. Called, yeah. But we're in this little yoga area that they do yoga sessions. You can see all of our mentors there on our mentor panel, helping out students to critique their funnels, and that was really valuable, and a lot of success came out of that. But yeah, we're gonna do another Bali Mastermind, which is, again, that will probably be for a smaller group of people.
And that'll come after the Las Vegas event.
Yeah, that's off in the future. The first event that we'll have will be the Las Vegas event, and if you can't make it, then we will have recordings that you'll get access to. But hopefully you can make it out to Vegas.
You gotta keep in mind though that I spent about 10 years of my career. I just locked myself into my office in my home, and I had a partner for 4 or 5 years that I never met in person until like 10 years later. And I learned, that it's really important to rub shoulders with other people, other like-minded individuals, and especially with your mentors and people who inspire you. The networking that comes into these events, really, pay attention to this. Like, for those of you who are only comfortable at home behind the computer screen, you need to break out. You need to step outside of your comfort zone, hop on a plane or get in the car and drive to the location and engage on a face-to-face level with people. It can change your life. When I first got started, I don't know if any of you guys who happen to know Ty Lopez. Doesn't really matter if you do or not, or if you love him or hate him. He's kind of a YouTube sensation these days, but he and I met through in San Diego at a live event, I think it was the San Diego Internet Marketing Party or something like that.
Yeah.
And he and I went on to partner up and create the first Hollywood Millionaire Mastermind, where we had some, about 60, famous people in there. Like, all of them were like celebrities or well-known, entrepreneurs, people who have, authors of books, and I think the creator of was MySpace and some of the biggest, apps and stuff out there, big authors.
I always remember that you said the guy that basically killed porn on the internet was one of the people there that made it free for everybody.
Yeah, he was actually. Mike.
Porn tube, YouPorn, like all the weird.
He owned. It was funny. I mean, he owned like all 10 of the top 10 sites in that industry, and he sold them all for like $300 million. He's not in that industry anymore. Yeah. So anyway, we just had all the biggest guys, from Hollywood and California, and people traveled from all around the world, to be there. Some of the guys were worth like $100 million, or even some of the guys were making almost $100 million a year, in all different industries from the big three niches: health, wealth, and relationships. Ty ended up going on, and now he's a bit of a celebrity out there. But it's the opportunities that come through engaging on a person-to-person basis. It's going to change your life. If you haven't been to an event before, you're going to find some of your best friends. You're going to find your mentors, and you're going to find partners and things like that there. So it's invaluable. $10,000 on an event like this, it's not too small of a price to pay, that's for sure. And if you can get to this event for free, trust me, the value, we're basically handing you an amazing opportunity here to engage with fellow students and with us and with all the speakers and vendors, keeping in mind that, we're teaching you how to promote affiliate products. And these vendors are sometimes a little bit difficult to connect with because they have a lot of affiliates. And so we'll try to bring some of those vendors, those top vendors, to this event so that you can rub shoulders directly with those guys and get in close with them, get their personal email addresses and stuff, Skype addresses and stuff, so that you can get, unfair advantage. And if you don't meet them in person, sometimes you miss out on all this stuff. Lots of benefits, lots of value. So we do hope that that you'll show up. Plus, we just have a lot of fun engaging with our, with our students. It's life-changing for us as much as it is for you guys.
So that's the Las Vegas event. Another thing that we're doing is called the Ultimate Freedom Challenge, and this is a separate thing from Profit Engine, but it would be recommended that you follow along with this and you take part. You want to tell
me
about that?
Sure. The Ultimate Freedom Challenge was something that came to me a while back, and I don't know for any of you out there who just woke up one day and you thought, like, my life sucks, or some aspect of my life sucks. Maybe I'm overweight. Maybe I don't have enough money. I don't have freedom. I'm 40 years old, or I'm 30 years old, or even if I'm 20 years old, but I realize that I want my life to be different. Maybe your relationship sucks. It doesn't really matter what it is, but something snapped you awake and snapped you into awareness and made you think like, I'm ready for a change. Like, I can't take this anymore. I'm not proud of myself. I'm not happy about where I am in life. What happens when you have that realization, that epiphany, or that moment of clarity, is it snaps you into action, and it gives you the fuel you need. And if you're smart about it, and if you take action on it, it will set you on an action path that can change your life. So it can put you on a success path. Now, what most people do is they focus on one thing. And so let's say, for example, that you woke up one day and you decided that, I need to lose weight. I don't like the way I look in the mirror. And so you get motivated, and then you take action and you say, okay, well, I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to start eating different. I'm going to start exercising every day over the next 30 days. I'm going to do this or do that. And that's an amazing thing that happens. It kicks in, and some chemicals in your brain, this initiation action, comes in, and you say you have success at that thing. A lot of times what happens is you kind of shift into imbalance. You get out of balance because you put all of your energy into losing weight, and you focus on yourself, focus on losing weight for the next few weeks. Well, I woke up that one day and I had that. And what I've discovered over time, though, is that activation energy is so strong, you don't have to just focus that energy only on losing weight. There's other areas of your life that are really important as well. I think that there's 8 key categories of our lives that are really important, from your health which is your diet and exercise, your business and career, your finances, your personal development, your romantic relationships, your relationships with your friend and family, your personal environment, and all these different, there's 8 key categories we can talk about later, but you can use that energy, that desire to change, and plug it in so that you have a balanced success. And so what I decided to do in that moment was, like, I'm going to challenge myself over the next 30 days to transform my life, to improve my life in 8 key categories. And rather than doing it alone, I decided that I wanted to involve my audience and our students into this as well, so that right now I can see that everybody on this call has taken a big risk on yourself and a big risk on us. You have decided that you're going to take massive action. You put your money where your mouth is. You made a big commitment. And what that means to me is that there's a lot of chemicals firing in your brain right now. You are in that very unique state of taking massive action, and you need to capitalize off of that experience and those chemicals that are flowing in your brain right now, not just to succeed on the level of financial success, but take it a step further. In fact, take it way further and use that energy to focus on a broader range of success. So I want you, after these next 8 weeks, not only to be successful financially, but I want you to have balance. If you've ever heard of people, having, people who have success, but then they don't have any friends, they don't have a good relationship, they focus all of their energy just on making money. They're not balanced. That's the problem. They neglected the rest of their life, and I don't want that for you. I want you to have a well-balanced success path. So I want to challenge you. I'm challenging myself as well to go through this process and sharing with you my experience. So I'm looking at my health, and I show you exactly the steps that I've taken to improve my life over a 30-day period in the health department, and also I share with you how I'm developing and improving my life in all the other 8 key categories of my life as well, from business to, again, to improving my health, improving my relationships, improving my relationship with my friends and family, connecting with my community and my environment, some of the hacks and things that I've discovered along the way to help improve my life. And we'll even be having like cash prizes as well for people to take participation in this, and we'll be sharing your stories. So I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty details of this right now, but I would challenge each and every one of you to have a well-balanced success path over the next 8 weeks. And we'll be sharing with you some introduction videos that'll explain all the details around it. It's free to do. I think that it's going to be great for everybody, hopefully, and a lot of inspiration will come from this. And hopefully you guys can use it to I don't know, just to find some inspiration from the rest of the community, hear stories about how other people, what other people are going through. I want to share a lot of your getting started or your before snapshots of your, not just the way that you look, but your story, what your life is like now. And I want to share stories of our students and people who participate in this challenge. I want to show you before and after snapshot. And again, this might be in written format or video format. Maybe even you'll have a physical transformation that we can share in video photos. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I know for me, this is a lot of, it's like personal. It's free, it's personal. We're giving out cash prizes to people who participate and have the biggest transformative experiences, and people who engage and share their stories. So that's that. We'll be putting out probably in the next week or so. I'll be dropping the invitation and the details around that.
I'm going to turn the webcam back on because we don't have a lot of slides.
Okay.
So we're still here.
The lighting looks better, but I still look the same.
It was earlier. I jumped out of bed. Oops.
Yep.
Okay, I was trying to answer a lot of questions, and I sent the answers to everybody, so you can read some of the questions I got to. So that's the Ultimate Freedom Challenge. Another thing that we're doing that's also separate from Profit Engine, but it's tied in to our strategies, is the Mentored by Millionaires. It's actually a reality TV show that we're working on.
It's very exciting stuff. Just to kind of give you a glimpse into it. Again, guys, these are the types of things that you can do in life once you get to a point where you have the financial freedom to do whatever the hell that you want in life. again, I'm inspired by affecting people's lives. Rob is inspired by helping change people's lives. We get a lot of joy out of seeing people have these transformations. It's more enjoyable to us than making more money would be. When you get to the point where you're making so much money that making more money doesn't really impact your quality of life, go for it, and it's okay. Rob's pouring a drink over here.
They know, they can see it.
Okay. we don't spend much time on the camera. But when you get more joy out of changing people's lives than you do out of making more money, we still want to make money, of course, because we're business-oriented individuals. But if we can share an experience with you that will help you transform your own life, and then we get to play a role in your story. Stories inspire. By the way, real quickly, did all of you get a chance to watch the amazing stories of our 6 mentors that we shared on the little checkout page there? I know some of you were probably in a hurry, checking out, and you wanted to make sure that you didn't miss out on getting into the program. But there was a video there that we shared. We actually shot that video while we were here in Bali at the mastermind. Is there anybody who didn't see that? Because everybody's jumping in and saying yes, yes, yes.
It's mostly yeses, but there's a handful of no's.
Well, I'll ask it.
So we should post a link. We'll post that video in the members area.
Is there anybody that didn't see it? I don't think so. Well, I'm sure you would remember.
If they didn't see it, they'll say yes.
Oh, yes. Say no if you did not. That's a
we
good
see
point.
this load of yeses.
yes. Okay, so
there's actually quite a few.
Yeah, well, I would really love you to see that, because I want you to keep in mind that what is so important for change in your life is inspiration. It's this very special thing that just, it's probably the fuel for change for most people. Most of the success stories that people have, it's an amazing thing. It really is. Like, if you're inspired, you will be inspired to change. When other people change, their stories will inspire you. When you have your big success breakthrough, you can inspire them. And it's this circle, it's this spiral, this success spiral, in life that's just created. It's like a gift to all of us to be a part of this experience. Rob and I care a lot about that right now. And the Mentored by Millionaires reality TV show is something that normally most people wouldn't be able to pull this off. You'd have to go to Hollywood, and you'd have to get the Hollywood producers to like kick up the funds to make this dream reality show happen. But we're in a unique position where we didn't have to do that. So we came up with this idea, and we do have a mentor. We do have our mentors, and
I was reading the questions. Did you explain what it is?
I will.
Okay.
In about 1 second here. So the idea of the Mentored by Millionaires reality TV show is that we're going to fly about a half a dozen people. They're ordinary, average people just like you, over to Bali, and we're going to put you up in a huge villa, a huge private mansion. We're going to give you a little taste of ultimate freedom, of the millionaire lifestyle, of this amazing experience. We'll give you like your private chef, a butler, your private masseuse, and put you up in an amazing mansion here, and give you a taste of what life could be for you if you have your big financial breakthrough, which we hope for all of you. For anybody who wants to take part in that, we're going to have like an application process that's going to be kicking off pretty soon through my YouTube channel and through Instagram and Facebook. So make sure, like I said, that you get hooked up in that, and that you connect with us through those channels, because that's where we're going to be kicking out the application process. We've already kicked this off about a week ago, and we've already had over 1,000 applicants that have sent in their video applications. Surprisingly, sort of. I mean, I really believe in this, what we're doing. Again, we've even had Hollywood producers reach out to us and practically beg us to be a part of this because they believe in this so much already. It's kind of like started a little movement inside of our audience on YouTube. But the idea is we bring you over here, we put you up, and then we inject a couple of mentors into the equation. And for 60 days, you'll have direct one-on-one access every single day with one of our mentors, actually with possibly with two of our mentors, with Jay and Nick. So they'll be coming over to Bali, staying over here in the same villa with you guys, this big 12-bedroom mansion. Right now, we're actually out there looking for the perfect, that ultimate Bali villa where we're going to be, where all the cast members are going to live. So we're going to put you up over here. And we're so excited to be able to help you guys go from, from nothing, from having no success online, being complete newbies, to transforming you over the 60-day period, and hopefully giving people the opportunity to earn like $1,000 a day, $2,000, $3,000 a day or more during that period. And when you go home, you'll bring with you, financial freedom. And then again, you get a little taste of it through this program while you're living here in Bali for 60 days. But when you go home, you take financial freedom with you. I'm super excited about that. Like I said, we've had Hollywood producers hit us up and think they've trying to, get involved with it. But the first season, I think, is going to be just us. We're self-funded. We're going to be doing this because, we think it's important, and it's fun for us, and it's really, really exciting. So
you need to follow us on social media to find out how to be a part of that. So that's in addition to Profit Engine. But we do want to have our students in there, running ads and being mentored by us, and we want to have you to have success. So we'd love for you to be involved in that. There's a lot of comments. People are asking where can I sign up? It's insane. Ronnie says I would give my right nut for that.
Yeah. Well, what we need, we're going to ask you to do like a little video. Send us a little video and let us know why you think that you would qualify, why you think that your story is important. That's kind of kick it off. But we are going to have like a 10-step application process. It's going to be pretty competitive. Obviously, the first week we already got over 1,000 video applications. Again, I don't want to distract from what we're doing here in the Profit Engine, because that's the reason that you signed up. That's why you're really here. But again, to be able to come over here and connect directly with Rob and I, who will be at the villa on a regular basis, to be surrounded by a camera crew, it's sometimes that'll put you in your best frame of mind where you're completely immersed. I mean, in fact, one of the best ways to immerse yourself into something is to hop on a plane and fly 10,000 miles away, to get out of this environment that maybe up until now hasn't been conducive to success for you. Step outside of that frame that you're in now and put yourself in a new physical environment. Some people who move to a new city or something, they start over. It's like their life transforms partly because of that. So we want to get you out of your environment and put you into a new environment, and surround you. If you've ever heard, you are the mean average, or of the 5 people you spend the most time with. We want to put you up here with Rob and I, who are having a lot of success, and with our, 2 of our top mentors who are, massively successful. And there you go. Spend 60 days with us, and it can be a transformative experience.
Okay, so that is Mentored by Millionaires.
Yeah.
So that's some of the surprises that we have in store for you.
One other thing real quickly, the casting, we're not going to choose the cast it's going to be like 3 to 6 months. It's a long process because there's a lot that goes into setting this whole thing up. It's not a simple thing. We can hop you on a plane tomorrow, but process will be there, and we'll kick that off soon.
Yeah, so just follow the social media. I posted the links to the social media in the question box, and I sent them to everybody, so you can click on those and follow us. The next thing that we want to go through is building your foundation and preparing yourself for success. And the big thing here is there's a couple things here. We want to help you to, first of all, make a commitment to your success, set some goals, and help to discover what things personally for you are going to stand in the way of achieving those goals. And we want to figure out how we can help you personally as much as possible to get to those goals. And so what we have planned, actually, before we go into this, let's talk about a bit of our mantra. So sure. The first thing, there's 3 things. Actually, I'll let you explain those.
Sure. The 3 things that we found after having thousands of students together over the years, we've identified the things that we believe differentiate people, the people who who fail or who are stuck in this cycle of failure or of coming close but not quite making it, from the people who actually have their success breakthrough. So by witnessing so many people have their success breakthrough, it's like we've been able to break it down and see what we believe are the key factors that have resulted in that success for that big growing group of success stories, like Bonnie and Les, and the people that you'll see in that video. If you go back, again, Rob will post that video a little bit later today. So make sure you go in there and watch that very inspirational video of our mentors' stories. But here's the 3 things that make all the difference. And they might seem simple, but they're really not. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. Number 1 is take massive action. Number 2 is stay focused. And number 3 is don't give up too soon on something. So you want to go in first and switch off here. Like, what is massive action to you? You got to understand what massive action is. Most people do not understand what this even is.
Yeah, a lot of people, the mistake that they make when they say massive action is they spend a lot of time in the learning phase, and they say, I'm going to take massive action on learning. It's important to learn, but it's even more important to take massive action on actually taking action. So learning is not enough. You can't just
planning is not enough.
Yeah, you can't just keep planning and planning and planning forever. You have to pull the trigger. So if you're gonna have success, you got to fail a few times, and the only way you're gonna fail is if you give yourself the opportunity to fail. So just expect your first ad is not going to do well. Your first few ads might not do well. In some cases, Bonnie, for example, she went through 19 ad campaigns before she finally nailed the one that took off. And the way that she was able to do that was, she came to the ad challenge and she got her ads critiqued, and watched the ad challenges and saw her comments on other people's ads and applied that information to her own. And that helped her to break through her obstacle and reach her breakthrough and shoot up.
If I remember right, it took her like 60 days or roughly something like 45 days, 60 days of running ads and taking massive action over those 60 days before she got the one ad that changed her entire life. Because it only, as she said, like once you find that winning ad, everything else happens overnight. The next thing you know, she was the #1 super affiliate on the entire ClickBank network. 60 days prior to that, she had zero success. She was just spinning her wheels and but she didn't stop believing in herself and in the programs, and she was just taking massive action. Now I want to point out what massive action means to me. I want you to look around in your life. It could be in the public. It could be people that you aspire to be like. It could be mentors. It could be just anybody who inspires you, who you look at and you say, wow, oh my God, this person takes massive action. Wow. If you look at them and you might think, wow, they're like a machine, this person. They're taking massive action. You need to be that person. You literally, you can't say, okay, well, Rob and Gary told me to run an ad, and so I'm running an ad. I'm taking action. I'm taking massive action. That is not massive action. Massive action means the people around you look at you and say, damn, they're a machine. They're really taking action. You need to become that person over this next 8 weeks. There's not a lot of difference between somebody who takes action and somebody who takes massive action. It's just a mindset. You have to commit to doing it, and that's what's going to fast track you. You can go 19 times faster than your neighbor over there, and you can get 19 times as far by taking 19 times more massive action. Funny thing about running an ad is 15 minutes of your time. So if you just take a little bit more time and you're a little more committed, that's going to make all the difference. Okay, so the first key to success is taking massive action. The second key to success is staying focused. Rob, you want to give your input on what that means to you?
Yeah, for me, it's just focusing on one method, one goal, setting aside everything else and putting all of your focus into achieving that goal. So most people can't do 2 or 3 things at the same time really well. Like I'm a single guy, I want to have success in my business. I want to be physically fit. I mean, if I'm trying to do all of these things at the same time and I'm trying to do them at a really high level, then usually none of them are at a really high level. And so, like, for example, during the launch, my social life has gone, I've put a lot of focus on this product, on helping people in this to have success here and other things. For me, it's like, when it comes to learning though, I would say just pick, if it was me, I would just pick one method to do, and I would say just set everything else aside. I would even go to the extent of, like, if something is not serving you, like if you're on an email list that's not bringing you value and helping you to achieve a goal, I would say get off that email list. If you have 3 methods that you've been trying, I would say, focus on one and master just one, and then build that up. That would be my idea of massive focus. Like, if you wanted to get a 6-pack, for example, then you would just like put so much energy on a daily basis into that, okay, and just commit yourself to that and stay as focused as you can on visualizing what the goal is that you want and taking those massive action, the big steps every single day until you reach that goal.
Right. I agree with so much of that. I think it's a good outline. For me, focus, mostly for the purpose of this training, and I look at this, it's not just about this training, it's really about life in general. That's, by the way, that's one of the reasons that we're doing the 30-day Ultimate Freedom Challenge, because as a community, I want you to have balance going forward. I don't want it to just be about you're going to be successful, but at the end of this 8 weeks, your relationship falls apart, you get fat because you're sitting in front of the computer all day. We want you to have a balanced success, so that you come out of this in the best health of your life, the best success path for you, and your relationships flourish, and you come out of this 8-week experience feeling like amazing, like literally having the best 60 days of your entire life and setting you on a success path for a better and brighter future. Okay, but when it comes to this program, focus means setting a very singular goal. So if your goal this week is to master the image aspect of running an ad, all you want to do is focus on that one very specific thing. If your goal this week is to focus on the pre-sale page and tuning in, the little elements of that page and the copy to your offer, we'll explain how to do all of this stuff. None of this stuff is complicated, guys. We're going to teach you, take you by the hand, and show you exactly what to do. We're even going to give you the images. Many of the images that I've used over the last few years to have success, literally multi-million-dollar images and pre-sale pages that we use regularly on a regular basis, so you don't have to worry about that. But we do want you to focus. Bonnie, we'll use her as another example. Bonnie might be on this call even right now. I'm not sure. But Bonnie's another example where her hang-up was on the image aspect of the ad. She joined into our Q&As, our live Q&As that we hold every week, and she jumped in on the ad challenge. And those two things, she said, she was telling me last night, that those are the things that led to her big breakthrough, because she put one of her ads into the ad challenge, and she said that her ad was too. I told her in the ad challenge that her ad was too cartoony. Well, you don't have to worry about that, but there was an element of her ad image that was off. She just wasn't quite getting it, and I told her what she needed to change, and so she was like, oh, she had this aha moment. She went back and applied it. That was the big key that gave her that 300+% ROI the next week as she kicked off her ads. Rob told her something about, do you remember what she said? Something about her ad copy that was clickbait. That she was doing clickbait, and that's why she couldn't get her ads approved, some of her ads approved and stuff. And so it was staying focused on that specific goal, and then taking massive action on it and reaching out, engaging with us. But that was the thing that helped her have her big breakthrough. So everybody's going to find something. Everybody's going to have something that's preventing you from succeeding, and we're going to help you find out what that factor is and help you overcome that. So yes, the key there again is to make these little micro goals and focus on that goal until you succeed at that specific thing, and then retargeting yourself to the next little mini goal, and then focusing only on that. And Rob brought up some really good points there. If you're getting people, a lot of you found us through, one of your, through an affiliate or something, someone out there who promoted this launch, and, these people are probably going to send you more offers later, next week or something. So we're just going to ask you to set all of those things aside for the next 8 weeks. So get laser focused over the next 8 weeks, and don't get caught up in that same cycle that you've probably been caught up in before, where, okay, you're going to commit to this, be excited about it for a week or two, and then you're going to get distracted and start saying, well, but maybe this offer over here, maybe this thing could help my success. Maybe I could multitask and do these things. Don't do that. You can do that after the next 8 weeks, but commit to us, commit to yourself that these next 8 weeks, in order to make this, help this transform your life, you need to stay focused. And the third thing
is never give up.
Don't give up too soon. And the interesting thing about this is, for one, people think that that's probably sounds easier than it really is. I'm sure that Rob could testify to this as well, but I know firsthand that every major success that I've ever had in life, I had to kick down a wall to get there. And the wall comes, it seems like a wall, really it's just going to be like a roadblock or a barrier that you can overcome. It's going to be a moment when you're so close to success, but you're ready to give up. And what I've identified personally is that 99%, everybody's going to get to that point where they're ready to give up. 99% of the people are going to throw in the towel at almost the exact same point in the experience, because it's when it becomes unbearable and you're like, I don't think this is for me. Maybe I don't have the time for this. This is not working. I don't trust these guys. They sold me a lie. Whatever your excuse is going to be to yourself to justify giving up, like you've done time and time again before, that is the moment when I'm going to call you out. And hopefully through teaching this mantra of take massive action, stay focused, and don't give up too soon, if you commit yourself to that mantra, you're going to realize in the moment when you're ready to give up that is the moment where 99% of the people out of the 100 people in the room are going to give up, but you're not going to be one of those people. You're going to be the 1% who holds out through to the end. If you're running a race, it's that last little leg of the race that's so hard. It's where everybody wants to give up. This is true in life. I'm telling you, it is the thing that separates people from having success and people who are failing. And I just don't want you to be stuck into that cycle of failure again and again and again throughout your life. You don't have to be 40 years old or 45 years old or 50 years old or 55 years old in order to have this breakthrough. You can do it at the age of 20, 30, 40. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What matters is what you do over the next 8 weeks and how you handle that what your emotional response is to that stimulation, that experience. Everybody's the same. We're made up the same. Our bodies are the same. What's going to happen is you're going to have a chemical dump in your brain that's going to try to overpower you, and it's going to try to hold you in place, but you're not going to let it happen this time. You're going to overcome that, and you're not going to give up too soon. And I want to throw on one last little mention there, that it is okay to give up on some things. There is a point where some things might not be right, and sometimes you get committed into the wrong thing. So I don't want to say that this is right for everyone. I don't want to say that anything, if you try long enough on anything, you'll succeed. Probably true, but you don't want to spend 20 years and miss out on other opportunities. But I believe that of all things that I've ever done in my career over the last, since 1999 when I first got started, that this is the fastest path. There's the least resistance in this path if you really want to have $1,000 a day or more type of experience in a short amount of time. Most things that you can do online, they're going to literally take years. The key to making a fast tracking your success is surrounding yourself with a really good mentor that you trust, someone that you believe in, committing to a blueprint or a plan that you believe in. And if you really believe in, the Profit Engine or Rise Academy system, which obviously you do, or you wouldn't be here right now, you wouldn't have committed to it. If you believe in it, then commit to it fully. It's like a relationship. A relationship isn't going to work if you don't commit to it fully. If you get into a relationship with a new man or new woman and you say like, well, let's try this out for a little while and see how it works. If it works really well and then things are perfect, then maybe we'll get into a more serious relationship or something like that. But if you go into it with this attitude that like, wow, I'm really resonating with this person, I believe, I'm really committed to this. If you want a relationship to work, you need to be fully committed to it. You can't go into it with an attitude that like, we'll see what happens, because it's just not going to work. It's the same way with this. If you go into it with an attitude like, all right, if I don't have success over the next 30 days, I'm going to refund. Or if I don't have the success over the next 60 days, I'm going to try something else. I'll give it a chance. Well, let me just tell you right now, I'll save you the trouble. It's not going to work out for you if you don't go into it completely committed that I am going to make this work because I believe in it. I believe in Gary and Rob. I believe in Bonnie and Les and all the stories that I've heard, the other students. Commit to it completely and imagine yourself that you're going to be here 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, like Les and Bonnie and Jay and Nick and Victoria, and all of our, Saul, who you'll be meeting as well, like these stories, they committed to it fully. Bonnie didn't give up after 60 days. If she had, she wouldn't be here today. She wouldn't be, crushing it like she is right now, wearing Rolex watches.
That's not to say that everybody's going to take that long to have success.
No,
it's just,
not.
But it's an example of how by following these, our mantra, you can still have success even if you struggle, more than most. Some people have success very quickly because their mind works in a way that it grasps the concept very quickly. Our goal is to teach you the concept in a way that it's as simple as possible, and we're trying to give you as much of our resources as possible to make it as simple and fast and easy as we can. But we don't want you to get discouraged if any element of the 3 steps doesn't immediately make sense to you. Don't worry about that. Just keep at it, reach out to us for help, and stick with it. Because even in cases where people just are not very technical and they don't understand some element, they're still able to get to success as long as they follow these three our mantra.
It's not important that that you have the same success or at the same speed as anybody else. You don't have to compare yourself to other people. We try to put these stories out there to inspire you, and we try to show you stories of people who are like unlikely stories, people who are technically challenged. There's a lot of success stories happening behind the scenes of this program, but we try to give you the stories that help inspire you because these people had challenges, difficult challenges. But our goal is not, our goal is really to help you compress your timeline down so that whatever it would have taken had you tried to do it alone, we're going to shave off years of that timeline. So some people say like, I'll give it 8 weeks. Think how long a doctor takes. They'll take 8 years just to get through the training. So don't get caught up in this idea that it has to happen too fast. But do hope, like it was Matt was one of the students who he was at $5,000 a day within the first week that he was in there. It was mind blowing, So I mean, those kinds of success stories can happen, but don't set your expectations so high that it ends up, working against you. You can do this, and it doesn't matter. Just be committed. But anyway, that's it. We'll go through those one more time. So the 3 keys to success that you'll hear us say 1,000 times. Take massive action. Are you taking massive action? Ask that question to yourself every single day. And if you're not, then turn things around and start taking massive action on everything.
And you should take massive action on the step that we're on.
Yeah.
Don't try and skip ahead. We'll tell you what we're working on this week. We'll give you a homework assignment, and your massive action is to put everything you can into that assignment.
Which brings up step number 2, focus. Focus on specifically the singular goal that you have set for yourself in this moment. And don't get distracted by what's happening in the future, what happened in the past, or anything else. Focus is step number 2. And the key number 3 is don't give up too soon. Don't get frustrated. If anything should come up or if it takes a little longer than you think, don't allow that to, again, we look at the people like who fail, and every single person who fails has one thing in common. They give up too soon. If they would have just waited a little bit longer. There's this great story about one of my friends wrote a book about being 3 foot away from gold. I believe is the analogy. there was a gold, I don't know what you would call it, like a company back in the 1800s who was mining for gold, and they hit gold, this vein of gold, and they extracted all the gold, and then it dried up, and they were like, they they ended up searching, digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and they found like, shoot, there's no more gold here. So they sold the company. The company that they sold to, they came in and they went back up to where exactly they had found the gold, and then instead of digging down, they dug sideways. And what they found, they dug sideways and they found that they tapped into a vein of gold. And so they started digging this way, and they I gotta get in front of the camera, this way, and they plugged into a vein of gold. And that they made millions of dollars off of that. So most people, they give up when they're only 3 feet away from gold, and we don't want that for you. So anyway, we could probably move on.
So let's talk about an exercise that we want to go through. So the homework assignment that we're going to have for you this week, we're preparing a questionnaire for you that we're going to send out, that we want you to fill out in detail, and it has a couple of purposes. One is we get to find out where you're at, and we get to see an idea of a cross section of everybody in the course, all the members, where you're at, so we can help tailor our training to help everybody as well as possible. But it's also so that you can talk about where you're at, where you're going, what you expect that you're going to struggle with, and so that ahead of time, you probably know yourself better than anybody, but you can plan for what you think will cause you to fail, and when that happens, you can press on through that, having already addressed that in your mind. So we're going to post that in the members area, but we want to go through it right now and maybe take someone volunteers and maybe bring someone on if they've got a microphone, and we can walk through it with somebody. The questionnaire that we send out will be a little bit different, but we want to go through the basic concept on the call. So
does anybody want to hop up in the hot seat? And
so here's what we're asking. If any of you has a microphone and you're willing to hop in here and kind of be, it might get a little bit intimate. We're going to ask you some questions about your situation. And I think that's the easiest way, is to just.
I should look for Joel. He wrote me this morning. He's going through dialysis right now, and he said he's sitting there. Okay. If he's on there, he's on. He said he's
Joel,
on,
if you're on the call, why don't
he's
you?
On Joel. He's on the webinar, he said. But if you see him, he would be a great guy. I was really inspired by his story.
If you can just, I don't know how to search for an email on the webinar, but just type your name in the question box.
Yeah, Joel, if you're there, type your name in the question box, and we'll.
And we may have time to do a few of these.
Yeah.
So we'll, let me see. I should have actually looked up how to do this.
We can definitely unmute the person, I think.
Okay, so it's in alphabetical order. Sorry, we're not the most tech savvy people in the world.
And while you're looking for that, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this. Okay. Now.
What's Joel's last name?
Joel. I'll find it real quick. It's Joe Chris. Let me see. Here you go.
Oh, there it is, Joel.
Yeah,
got him.
Yeah.
Got him. All right, Joel, is it okay if we add you?
Again, there's no pressure here, Joel. If you don't.
All right, I'm gonna unmute you, Joel.
I guess he said he sounded like he's willing to hop on. This is not pre-planned, guys. Not really.
It was planned this morning.
Well, yeah, we just planned it right before we got on the call. I hear someone.
Hey, Joel, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. So just so you know, you are live right now. Our entire audience is listening to you. There's about 618 people on the call right now. Don't be nervous.
I'm okay.
Can I set this up a little bit, Joel? I just want to tell a little bit your backstory, and then I'll hand it over to you. We'll ask you a couple questions. Joel mentioned that he is having dialysis right now, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about that. But Joe reached out to me this morning over Facebook, and over the last couple of days, he told me a little bit about what was going on in his life. And it inspired me a lot, because what he's going through right now was something my mother went through when she was alive. And to be honest with you, like, I even broke into tears this morning when I heard his story. So it touches me kind of deeply. And so anyway, I kind of wanted to give him a chance to get on here and share his story. So one of the things that we are trying to do through this is help people identify what your story is, like what your before story is. And if you can tell that story to yourself, and especially if you can kind of get out from underneath your this protective little shields that we put up and put yourself out there and step outside of your comfort zone, tell your story publicly, give us permission to share your story, your before story. And then we want to set it up so that at the end of this 8 weeks, it's like you've tapped into your after story. So Joel, is it Joe or Joel? Sorry. Joel. Okay. So Joel, would you mind to share with people a little bit about what you're going through right now in your life, and then lead us a little bit forward and tell us where you would like to be 8 weeks from now?
I was diagnosed with IgA nephropathy, which is chronic kidney disease, which I had since I was born. And right now, I've been on dialysis on stage 5, which is called end-stage kidney disease, which is kidney failure, for 3 years now, actually 3 years and 3 months. So, and I work as a physical therapist. That didn't stop me from working as a physical therapist. I still see patients on a daily basis. However, though, my time freedom is really, there's really none to speak of, because I work, and then I'm a single dad with 2 kids, going on 15 and 11. Right now I'm on dialysis, so I go into dialysis 3 times a week for about 4.5, 5 hours.
This is you right now.
A day. That's me. That's actually just taken about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, he just sent this in. Undergoing dialysis right now.
And it's been 3 years, so I have been working my tail off in finding a donor for a kidney transplant. So after 3 years, almost to the date, I found a donor. So my goal right now is the reason why I was looking for something to be focused on while I'm on recovery, because it's going to take me at least 8 weeks to recover from my surgery, which is probably going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days, if not sooner. And I was a member of, I am a member of Mike Vestil's, who happens to be a fellow Filipino.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I can relate to his parents being immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself. I came here about 30 years ago, in 1988. So my ultimate freedom goal is really to my second half of my life is to live the ultimate freedom that you're living. And when I saw your video interview and I saw the Rice Academy in Bali, and I tell you, Jerry and Rob, I only saw that video like 2 nights ago, and I've spent probably half the day, even while driving to patients' homes, watching all your videos. Just, in fact, I must have watched that webinar like twice.
Wow.
Just in the last day. So I'm excited, Joel, because you are living the life of ultimate freedom that I want to live.
It's like I said,
so that's my goal.
This is the opportunity, that we have. Rob and I are in the position to offer inspiration to others, and we hope that we do. But we also want to set you up so that you can become a success story and inspire others. And I love your before story. Now let me dig in. Before I dig in a little bit more and ask you a couple more questions, I just want to say congratulations on finding a donor. My mother, she wasn't as lucky. She didn't find a donor in time, and I think that that's, I really just like that's great to hear that that's happening. So I know that everyone here is, is pulling for you, and it's great. You have something that you can focus on during this time through your recovery. Now, I want to ask you real quickly, what is your why? And what I mean by that is, you're working so hard. You're waking up every day, and like you said, you still go to your patients. You get out of bed, and you have a lot of things working against you, a lot of pressures, a lot of stress, a lot of challenges. And some people, they want to give up. And normally in life, some people, they don't want to work hard. They don't want to do all the stuff that it takes to achieve success. But what is it that gets you up out of bed in the morning? What is it that makes you work so damn hard to achieve? What is the single thing that you're doing all of this for? What is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you working so damn hard?
I'm doing all this for my kids, Simone and Anton. They are my reason to live. That's why I'm able to do what I'm doing right now, and really, uh, it's unheard of for somebody who's on dialysis to be working a full-time job and being a single dad. But I have been able to do it for 3 years, and I almost gave up on finding a donor because 3 years is a long time. I'm afraid I'm gonna die soon. But just when I was almost given up a month ago, then this living kidney donor contacted me, and boy, it's like the life changing. My motivation is, I'm inspired again, and then now I see a perfect example of the life that I want to live with my kids, because I want to see my kids to have their own kids. That's really my biggest why. They are my biggest why.
That's great, and I got to say, that's an amazing why, is to commit your energy to helping someone else. Let me ask you another question. If you really take massive action over the next 8 weeks, and you stay focused, and you don't allow yourself to give up on this, and whatever stresses come down on you, you fight and you struggle and you get through this. And let's say that you have your big breakthrough a few weeks into this experience, and let's say that you wake up one day and you are making suddenly, like Bonnie, you're making $1,000 a day, $2,000, $3,000 a day, $5,000 a day. How would that change your life? How would that affect you personally? How would that affect the life of your son? What would that life look like for you? What would that do for you?
Oh, what I wanted to do first and foremost is actually, and I've always wanted to do this, is travel the world with my kids, and that would be amazing. And then the second thing it will change for me is that now and with the transplant, now I am location independent, like you and Rob have been talking about on your videos. I'm like, when you talked about that in your podcast, I was like just so inspired. I'm thinking, shit, man, where have these guys been all these years? Because I've been trying to do this internet marketing thing while keeping my job as a physical therapist, but it's just been so hard. And I wanted to do something that's doable, that I can have the time for, and I'm thinking, man, I have the 8 weeks, I can do that. And then, so it's really the location independence to do whatever I want, whenever I want, especially with my kids. And then another thing that will change for me is that I will be a huge advocate for people with end-stage kidney disease to help them find their donors and make a difference in the world. In fact, one of the things that I thought about is actually getting this app software to find a kidney donor for others.
It's an
So
amazing.
I want to do that project once I become financially independent.
That's great. I love everything that you just said right there. So basically, you want to have location independence. You want to be able to travel the world with your son, and you want to be able to give back to the rest of the world, and bring change to others. So that really resonates with me. That's my story. The only difference is that my timeline and Rob's timeline we might be further on that timeline than you, but our goal is to help you get there. So let me ask you one additional question. How close are you to achieving that right now? What have you done toward that? Are you traveling the world right now? Have you, how far down that rabbit hole have you gotten personally at this point?
You know what? I can't even travel. I'm in San Antonio. I can't even travel to Houston because for more than a day. And the reason for that is because I'm tied up to this dialysis. Now, in terms of financial independence, being on dialysis, having chronic kidney disease, I mean, it's really expensive. It's very expensive. I pay $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month just for my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So so I really want to I will do this and make a success out of myself in 8 short weeks, if not sooner, so I can, do the things that I wanted to do with my kids, with my family, with my mom, and basically for my town in the Philippines. That's another thing that I will do. The first instance that the doctors tell me I can travel, I will, go to the Philippines, spend maybe a few months, but en route I'll visit you and Rob in Bali and Mike.
Yeah, and Michael, that would be great. I love that. So just to reiterate that, so basically you're far away from those goals right now, and so
Far away, yeah.
yes, and you're getting into Profit Engine as a vehicle to help you achieve those goals, and I hope that Rob and I will be able to step in here as your mentors, as your coaches, and help you achieve that. And that's okay, that you're not there. What's important is that you're taking action, taking massive action, committing yourself. You see the opportunity and you've dived in. The last thing I want to ask, basically, I want to ask you is if you had to, I don't know, when I go to just to use your situation as an analogy here, sort of, that you can really understand. When I go to the doctor, okay, and I have a problem, right? Nobody really knows your body like you know your body, right? There's two different types of doctors that I've encountered in my life. One of them is a doctor who says, okay, sit down here, pull up take off your shirt, lay down on the table. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with you. Okay. That's one kind of doctor. And a lot of times they get it wrong and they don't even ask you what's going on, what's wrong with you. I like the doctors who come to me and say, so what's going on? What do you think's wrong with you? What do you think's going on here? And they allow you to self-diagnose because they understand that you probably actually already know what your problems are. So I want to ask you this question from that perspective and say, if you had to look at your life and say, like, I am not there yet. I have not gotten to the point to fulfill my life's dreams yet. And you had to boil it all down to one single thing that has prevented you thus far from living your dream that you just outlined for everybody here on this call. What would you say is the single thing, keeping in mind that sometimes it's mindset, sometimes it's focus, sometimes it's you're not taking action, sometimes you're tied into whatever it is. There's something that has prevented you from achieving this ultimate dream, this ultimate freedom lifestyle, your ability to travel the world with your son, the ability to leave your home and all this stuff. And just forgetting about your physical condition right now. I think everybody on this call understands that you're going through some really big challenges there. But you haven't always been in this condition. You haven't always, I mean, granted, maybe you had this from childhood, but you haven't always been in this specific condition. What is it inside of you that may have prevented you thus far from achieving your ultimate dream goals?
It's probably not lack of information, but more of a, I guess I just have to switch my mindset into thinking of the great possibilities of passive income instead of what I've been used to for the last 30 years as a physical therapist, which is really trading time for dollars. That's always eluded me. I've tried so many times online marketing and, way back 20 years ago, network marketing, that kind of thing. And so I've been in search of a model, of a blueprint. And when I went through your video, especially the webinar, I saw that, man, this has been what I've been looking for the last really 19 years. Because I started to delve into internet marketing way back in '99.
Yeah, same.
But I never found that blueprint, that model, and then also that switch in my head to think of, it's really possible to go with to have that passive income online.
That's great. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing your story, Joel. I really appreciate it. I know that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone to get on a live call and share your story with how many people are on the call? Over 600, 700 people, something like that. Almost 600 people right now. So I applaud you.
Well, thank you for putting me on the spot, because this gives me accountability and it's recorded. So I gotta commit to what I've said, and I will commit. I will be a success in 8 weeks. Yeah.
I believe in you, Joel, and you should see the kinds of comments that have been coming through. Very supportive community. I can see that we're building right here, right now. I'll send you a list of about 200, 300 comments that have come through in the since you've been speaking. I'm inspired by this community. It's amazing to see the support that so quickly that people are throwing out to you. It's amazing. So hopefully that'll be an inspiration to you. But listen, I want to just reiterate again, like what you've said. So it sounds to me like, you've just been missing the plan. It's like the desire has always been there, but you haven't had like a blueprint to follow. Maybe you haven't had the guidance, you haven't had the mentors that you need. And so I want to tell you that that's exactly what this program is all about. It's about changing people's lives. It's about helping you, hand you the blueprint. And we've simplified that down in a way that anybody can do it, no matter what your limitations are, whether you have limitations on your time because you're in dialysis, whether you have limitations, other sorts of limitations like technical limitations or whatever that may be. But for your specific case, I know that Rob and I can help you. We have put together a panel of mentors. Every one of our mentors have come through the ranks. They have come up from the very bottom, from where you guys are all sitting right now. Many of you, complete newbies, have never made any money online ever in your life, and yet, we believe and we know for a fact that if you follow our instructions down to the detail, if you believe in yourself and you take massive action and you stay focused and you don't give up on this, don't look at 8 weeks as the cutoff. By the way, commit to this no matter what, and we will help you achieve success. We will give you the opportunity and the ability to travel the world with your son. We will help you, hold your hand and show you. We'll give you that blueprint. We'll give you all the support system that you need and everything like that. So I just wanted to welcome you into our family, into the community. Everybody here on this call is rooting for you. I know I am personally. Your story really touches my heart because it's a similar story to what I've gone through in my life with my mother. And I am like your son, I am that boy who wants that connection with the parent, that I love so much. So for me, I'm seriously rooting for you on a personal basis. And I can tell you, every single person in this call right now, I want to root for you too. Rob wants to root for you, and everybody in this community wants to root for you too. That's why Rob and I have taken the time here to identify. And this is what, listen, Joel, what you just said, that this coming out and sharing your story has given you a gift. It's helped you, put a, kind of like, I don't know, see for yourself what it is that why it is that you're doing this, and what it is that maybe has stood in your way all of this time, and identify this blueprint or this path for you. I want to give that to everyone else too. So we can go ahead and just say goodbye to Joel right now. Again, thank you so much, buddy. Please keep me posted on your success path. Yeah, I would love to hear. I want to hear about your dialysis. I want to hear about your transplant. I want to be part of your story. And I want your story to be part of this community. Someday in the near future, I want to be telling your story. I want you here in Bali. I want to take videos of you standing there with your son, hopefully, and I want to show the after shot of you. This is the before shot, okay? So
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I will be there.
I'm sure you will. Now, okay, so everybody say goodbye to Joel and thank him for taking the time to share his story, for coming out of his comfort zone and sharing all that. And Rob and I will forward your messages. So if you have anything personal that you want to say to Joel, make sure that you type it in right now, and we'll make sure that he gets those messages. Now, back to the training, okay? We believe that this is important, not just for Joel, as you've just witnessed, but for each and every one of you. We want each and every one of you to do what Joel just did. Now, the way that you can share your story and step outside of your own comfort zone and put yourself in the position, as you heard Joel say himself, he's so grateful that he had the chance to put it out there, because this sets him on a path of accountability. And that's what we want for you. So not only are we going to ask you to write out your life story, the before shot of your story, and share it with us. And you can tell us whether you give us, the okay to share, like your before and after story. We're not going to say anything about anything right now, but if you have your success breakthrough, some weeks, whether it's, 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 36 weeks, I don't care. If your success story happens and you share with us your before and after, and you give us permission to do so, we will take your story and we will turn it into an inspirational success story for all of our students in the future to share with them and to inspire them, so that you can get into this same success loop cycle that Rob and I are in right now, that Joel just stepped into. We want each one of you to step into that role so that you can be inspired by others, inspired by us, hopefully, and so that you can have your success, so that you can give back and inspire others, so that it's an amazing machine that we're trying to create here, and that you've just made a decision to step into and play a role in. So we'll ask you to share it, write out your before story, and then later on, we want you to actually, what's the word, Rob? Document. I can never come up with that word. To document your success story. What we would really love to do is step out even further and put yourself on a video camera, on a selfie camera, and be like, tell your story. Say, hey guys, this is my story. I'm just getting started. This is my inspiration. This is my why. This is my big dream of what I want to have happen if I were to be successful. And this is why it hasn't happened so far. So if you can give us, that little, whether it's like a less than 5 minute, story on video camera, and then we'll give you a way that you can share that link with us or an upload, so that we can capture that success story. It's important that you capture that before you have your success breakthrough, not after. We don't want to have a bunch of people sitting on a camera saying, yeah, telling their before story after they have their success breakthrough. We want you to capture the real life before story of how you feel right now in this moment. If you're feeling down and you're feeling shitty about life, and keep in mind, guys, it's not just about money, right? This is why you're here right now, is to have your success breakthrough, your financial success breakthrough. But even if you're overweight and you haven't been spending enough time with your kids, and you haven't talked to your parents you haven't visited your parents in the last 3 years or 15 years, whatever your story is, why you're feeling down or why you're feeling in your life that it's time for you to make a change, share that story with us. on day one, right now, when if you're feeling inspired by Joel's story, if you're feeling inspired because you just took massive action and you took a risk and you're into this program now and you're feeling that excitement and you're like, I know that this is going to transform my life. Capture that moment, please, on camera. Take your camera, hold it up and just tell your story wherever you are right now. Getting some good lighting. We'll give you some instructions to make sure that video comes out really well. We'll ask you to upload it, and then we'll give you some instructions and some guidelines and really some suggestions of how you can document your story over the next 8 weeks. And then at the end of, when you have your financial successful breakthrough, we want you to really get in there with the camera and just share with us and share with the community what it feels like to have that life transforming breakthrough. And when you get to that, what the milestone for most of us is that we try to set for our students is that when you hit that $1,000 a day mark, that's when you've really hit the big time, and that's when your life is going to really change. So when you have that, and I also want to document when you get your first sale, when you have your first $100 day, maybe when you have your first $1,000 day, and then everything that happens after that. So again, I don't want to spend any more time on this, but I think that this is really key, really important to your success, is to step into this mind frame of seeing your future, seeing your past, identifying what your big why is and why you're doing this. Most of us don't even realize, we don't even know why we're waking up in the morning and working so hard. Why did I just put in 16 hours today? Like, what is my real why? Because once you identify what that why is, it's gonna become more clear to you, and it's gonna make a lot of sense. Once you identify what your dream life looks like and how your life would be changed if you were making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a day, what would that look like? How would that affect your life? How would that affect your children or your family or your friends, your loved ones? How would it affect their life? What kind of change would you be able to bring into the world? And then lastly, if you can share, like, what's the thing that's prevented you from doing this thus far? Self-diagnose. What is that thing? And put that out there, because once you see it for yourself, you can know that thing, if it's technical difficulties, or if it's been, what is that syndrome where you jump all around and do?
Shiny object syndrome.
If you have shiny object syndrome, like so many of us do, and you identify that that's probably the one thing that's going to prevent you from having success in this program, then you can focus on that and you can challenge that part of your I don't know, what is it called? Your ego or whatever, that inner part of you that keeps sabotaging your success. You can identify it and you can step up above that and look down at yourself and take control, reprogram yourself and say, no, I don't accept that I have shiny object syndrome. I have control over my destiny. And by identifying it and recognizing that thing that's preventing you from succeeding is just poor programming that was put there by your family, by unknowingly, of course, your family loves you, by society, by your teachers, by all the authority figures in your life, all the people that you looked up to that have told you, your teachers told you to do this, and you'll be successful, and they were wrong. That has created this program that has been dictating your life and locking you in to a broken mindset, and you don't have a success path. So we're gonna unlock that for you. We're gonna help you. But the key there is that you need to do it for yourself. And all we're doing is giving you the tool by helping you identify exactly what that thing is, so that you can reprogram yourself and no longer allow that thing to prevent you this time around. Okay. So again, some of you might be sitting there thinking this is bullshit. Let's get into running the ads. And that's okay for you if that's the case. If you already have your life is mastered perfectly and you don't need help, that's okay. We will get into the ads next week. We will get into the 3-step program next week. But for most of you, and I can guarantee you that most of you, the thing that is standing in the way from you having your big success breakthrough is not something technical. It's not, money, that's limiting you like you think it is. These are just the excuses that we tell ourselves. The real thing that has prevented you thus far from having success probably is you. You have yet been able to overcome yourself. And so Rob and I know this. We've gone through this. We've hit that point. We have overcome those obstacles in life. We have overcome those stories that we tell ourselves that the reasons, the obstacles, and the things that have prevented us from having success, we overcome it. So looking back, we identified that it's none of these things. It's just we had to overcome our own mindsets, our broken mindsets, our limiting beliefs, And when we did that, that made all the difference for us, and we want to set you on a success path. So
what I want to do now, if we have time later, maybe we could take someone else on the call, but we're pretty far along, and I want to get to the next section. But before we do, as you've been listening to Gary explain this and listening to Joel's story and this process, maybe you've thought in your own mind what the thing is that would stand in the way of your success. Maybe it's the shiny object syndrome, maybe it's something else. And if there's something that's in your mind right now, could you just type it into the question box right now? Some people have already typed some, so I'm going to start reading those, and then I'll scroll down and see what other people say. Christian says afraid of success, so fear of success. Billy says damn shiny objects. Several people also can relate to the shiny object syndrome. Mel says a fixed versus growth mindset. Let's see.
The inner saboteur, yes, self.
I like Ash says mental diarrhea. So maybe overwhelm, maybe lack of focus. Fear is, Mary says fear, that's what stopped many of us.
Fear comes in so many different ways as well. Self-doubt.
Procrastination.
Missing the right mentor.
Scarcity.
Risk averse,
giving up too early. Low self-esteem, I don't deserve any better. I think probably a lot of people can relate to that.
The funny thing is that most people don't articulate it in that way because they just feel that way. You know what I mean? That they don't realize that they do deserve better. And again, that's the programming that's holding you in place. And hopefully through this experience, you can undo that programming and reprogram yourself so that you believe that you do deserve it.
No support from family.
It's more of that.
And these are things that many of our students have had to face when we've spoken with them, and they've been able to go through the program and still achieve success. Never had a mentor.
Go back up a little bit. I just want to address one thing here. Okay, Jonathan. Jonathan says nothing. I'm determined, and I just want to challenge you here, Jonathan, because some of you might think that there's nothing standing in my way. But if that's the case, then why are you not there already, sitting there, living the ultimate dream lifestyle? Okay, so I want you to dig a little bit deeper and ask yourself, really, there's got to be something that's prevented you thus far. So your job this week is in this homework is to identify what that thing is. There has been something that's prevented you. Your job is to identify it so that it doesn't continue to elude you. Okay, right now, in this moment, it's eluding you. You don't know what it is. Ask the people around you. People around you can identify what your weakness is. Trust me. They just don't say anything because they love you, they care about you, and they don't want to hurt your feelings. But your job is to identify it, so make sure you do that.
And our job is to help you, to help facilitate you achieving success and help you to address these obstacles and get past them. So as we go through the course, we will strive to provide you with tools and with things that can help you to get through this.
Dr. Janet says analysis paralysis. We've seen that a lot with students. Listen, so it looks like, I mean, we've literally gotten hundreds of people in there. I don't ask for help when I need it. The list goes on and on and on. I'm 77 years old. Yeah, it's never too late.
So this is going to be a very helpful exercise both for you and for us. And in the future, when you achieve your success, well, two things. In the future, when you run into that obstacle and you're having self-doubt, you can look back on what you said here and remember and reinvigorate yourself and make sure you make it through. And when you do have your success breakthrough, you know, and you have your successful ads and you start scaling up and you start achieving that.
Sorry, let me get some more light on it.
And you start achieving whatever it is that drives you. We should have done that
a long time ago. And now I see there's a dozen people out there working in my Zen garden they're building all kinds of stuff out there. It's awesome.
Yeah, so when you achieve whatever it is that you're striving to achieve, then you can take your story and you can pay it forward to help inspire others. So that's the goal here. I want to jump into the next section and do an overview of the Profit Engine mind map. Profit mind map. So we're going to go through a 30,000-foot view. Let me close the question box for a bit while we run through
Again,
this.
Thank you for everybody. I can see that this is going to be interesting. You've already kind of like given us, you know, your what you believe, your self-diagnosis of what's been preventing you from succeeding. So we'll get into that a little bit more after this. What are we going to do, by the way, for that? We're going to post a little questionnaire for them, right?
Yeah, we're going to post it in the members area. We'll send out an email to you. We'll give you instructions. Everything will be everything is always in the members area. So give us a little bit of time. Give us about a day or so after each session so that we can post stuff and we can post any related materials that you'll need. And that's not all. We'll also be posting other stuff in there periodically throughout the weeks as we add additional videos and additional resources and content. So let me switch on over to the infographic.
Yeah, we have a huge surprise for you coming in week 4. By the way, it's an unannounced little teaser, but I'm going to give you a ton of value in week 4.
So can everybody see the Profit Engine Profit Mind Map?
Can we blow it up to full screen?
No, I can zoom in. I'm just making sure they can see it.
Yes.
All right. So I want to start with a little bit out. So this is an overview. We got this section here, the Hive Brain section, and this section down here at the bottom. So you can see a quick overview. We're going to post this in the members area as well, so you can download it. And we're going to zoom this in and walk you through the process, the profit mind map, and the process that we go through. So you want to run with this?
Sure, happy to. Okay, so first of all, we should talk a little bit about.
I need to zoom it in anymore.
Yeah, go ahead and zoom in. And you know, I can't point to the screen, can I? So the 3-step system, we'll kind of get into.
Actually, let me see. Oh, we're on the.
Got a pointer? Oh, spotlight. So do you guys see a spotlight around when we move our?
I don't see it.
Yeah, but they might see it. Do you guys see a spotlight around our little mouse when we're moving it on the screen, or no?
Let's see.
No spotlight.
I guess the spotlight doesn't. Wait. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, you see it? You see a little red dot moving around? How about now?
I gotta scroll the thing.
Yes. Okay, good. So I'm gonna take over the little.
Shut the thing. All right, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna take over the little laser pointer here. So this is the Profit Engine system. Okay. So we look off to the left here, and we have the 3-step system. This is the system that we're going to be teaching you over the next 3 weeks, starting next Friday.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Yeah. So this is the system that we're going to be teaching you over the next 3 weeks, starting this Friday, next Friday. And I'm going to break that down for you real quickly. I think that we already touched on this a bit in the original presentation, so you should already understand what this is, more or less. We're going to dive into each one of these. So on week 1, next Friday, we're going to dig in to these 3 things. The first thing actually is going to be identifying and choosing the $1 million, what we'll call for now, the $1 million offer. And this is the offer that is going to lead you, that you're going to be promoting through your ads. And we're going to teach you how to find the offer, how to identify the offer, how to identify the vendors that you want to work with. Keeping in mind that these are going to be in the big 3 niches so that you can scale really, really, really big. And you're not locked into just earning, $200-300 a day because your audience is too small. We want to try to get you as quickly as possible into these big niches, like the health, wealth, and relationship niches, where you're teaching people, you're helping people solve these big burning problems that they have. Again, just real quickly as a brief overview, I'm telling my staff out there to kind of keep it quiet. They're asking if they can start bringing up the saws and stuff. But anyway, so we want to identify the offer that you're going to start promoting. So, the big offers, health, wealth, and relationships, those are the ones that you can promote that that you can basically scale to the moon. Okay. So you can get up to those $20,000 a day because there is no limitation to how big your audience is. So we're going to teach you all about that. The second thing that we're going to get into is the ad, and we're going to teach you the secrets, all the psychology that I use when I first got started, and I'm using now, all of the psychology and the blueprint for creating a successful ad, this idea of the ugly image and exactly what types of images work and how you can get them made for $5 on Fiverr, and how you can instruct those Fiverr people, those artists over there, to deliver to you an ad that can be worth as much as, like in Victoria's case, $270,000, probably over $300,000 now, by one single image. We're going to get into that. We're going to teach you exactly how to do that. And then in the third week, we're going to teach you how to set up your pre-sale page, which, again, by the way, is really simple. It's just we're giving you the exact same pre-sale page that I used from the very beginning, that I still use today, that our mentors and all of our success students have copied, and then we teach you the little subtle little changes that you can make to it to make that that pre-sale page speak to your audience. And so that 3-step system is what we're going to get into over the next 3 weeks as we kick things off next Friday. Now we can move this over.
Sorry, there's I'm trying to
get
do
that out
two
of our
things
way.
at once.
No worries.
All right, so you don't want to move. You want to scroll it down?
I want to move over so I can see. Can you move the camera over on the other side now? Or yeah, there we go. Okay, so on the right-hand side of your screen, you should see this mindset stuff. And as you can see from this week 1, this is important stuff. I hope that you agree with it, and I know that it's true. So I hope that you, if you didn't come into this thinking that mindset was important, I hope that by the time you get off this call, you realize that it actually is important. We'll get into fail point training. We'll get into teaching you the exact things that tend to be the thing that prevents the majority of people who fail. We're going to help you identify what it is that prevents people from succeeding, and we're going to help you identify what your own personal biggest hangups are. Okay, so we're going to dig into and set this mantra in place for you, the big 3. Taking massive action, staying laser focused, and just not giving up too soon. And we'll get into all of that. Okay, we'll get down into the training is what's going to set you on your path so that you have the confidence and you know exactly what you need to be doing. You'll have the blueprint to follow. You'll have everything that you need so that you can emulate exactly what I do. Okay, you'll be able to have an ad that emulates perfectly the ads that I put up that generate millions of dollars. You'll be able to set up a pre-sale page, whether you're technical or not, it doesn't matter. We'll give you and we'll teach you exactly what you need to set up your pre-sale page, and we'll teach you all the psychology that helps determine whether or not you get the click-through ratios that are going to drive your success. It's really simple, it's really fascinating, and it's a skill set that you'll carry with you the rest of your life. If you want to employ this knowledge, this skill set into your business, going forward for the next 20 years, 30 years, this stuff will never change because it's psychology of the human mind, and it's embedded into these pre-sale pages, and it's the reason that we can get such high click-through ratios, some 35, 50 times higher than our competitors on the ads, 2 to 3 times higher on the pre-sale page, and we'll get into that too.
So the hive brain.
The hive brain. The hive brain, really, this is the central core knowledge center that is going to be so central to your success. Our brain is made up of information. That information comes in as you look over here on the right. I guess we don't have the pointer anymore.
Well, the thing is, I can't scroll if I've got the spotlight.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Well, for now, we got a spotlight here. So up here, we have students' challenges and successes. And this is a feedback loop that we open up, that we ask you to tell us about your challenges, to contact the support department and ask for help. Well, it's a 2-part thing. You get help from the support department, but also we get insights into what your struggles are. Okay. And we also ask you to give us your successes, and share with us every time you get your first sale, every person who gets their first sale, every person who has their first $100 day, every person who has their first $1,000 day, and we ask you to share with us. We ask you to feed the brain, okay? Give back, and we'll take your stories, your success stories and your challenges to feed the brain. There's more knowledge coming into this hive brain as well. The coaches, the mentors, they are interfacing directly with students, so they're getting more insights, more feedback. They're experiencing more successes, success stories, and that gets plugged into the brain. the live Q&As that we have. You guys will be giving us live feedback on what your experiences are. All of this stuff, guys, goes into feeding this brain, and then this brain, through this brain, Rob and I are kind of like pulling the strings on this brain, and we'll make sure that the mentors, that our coaches, that our trainers, and that us personally are then delivering and disseminating that information back out to you, the students. Does that make sense?
I get these images in my mind of strings and brains and stuff. Like
pulling those puppet strings on the brain. But
going pretty far with this metaphor.
But I love the metaphor because it's true. It's a super powerhouse that we have that you know, that you guys are plugged into right now, and you're going to have access to a lot of information. By the way, a lot more that comes into that when we're working directly with the vendors. We talk with them on a regular basis every single day. They reach out to us because we're their top super affiliates. They want to stay engaged with us. So everything that we learn from the vendors, we bring it back to you. Everything that we learn when we get on the phones and we talk with the Facebook reps, which by the way is really hard to get. Most people do not have a Facebook rep that will get on the phone with you anytime you need help or have questions. Everything that we get from them will bring them back to you. So all of this stuff is coming back to you. You're plugged into a network, a very powerful network of top super affiliates in the world on ClickBank. And yeah, that'll be brought back to you.
All right, so let's run through. This is kind of the process. Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, so the process is like broken down like this. You are going to start running ads, and you'll set up your funnels, right? So you'll have an ad, you'll have a pre-sale page, and you'll have an offer. And we'll tell you exactly how to do that. But your job is going to be to test offers and to take massive action through this process that we'll outline to you of how you can test offers. So we'll have some tests that you can run on your funnels to make sure that you're testing, you're going after the right products, the right offers, that you're working with the right vendors, that you're promoting the right niche, and all these things, right? And you'll be testing, these different ads. Okay. So for 3 days, you'll run $5 to $20 a day. So it's not a big investment of your time, but you'll be running these little tests. So it'll be a 3-day test. One day you'll run one ad, say for $10 or something, $5, and the next day you'll run it, and the next day you'll run it, and we'll tell you how to monitor your numbers and find out whether or not you're getting that return on your investment. And if it doesn't work out over those 3 days, you abandon it, or you make a dramatic change to it, and then you run it again, okay, for the next 3 days. And you keep doing this, and this process is going to help you uncover your first winning offer. Now, keep in mind that this took 19 iterations before Bonnie got it right, and she had to go into the Q&As every week, after the live Q&As. She had to go into and submit her ad for Rob and I to sit down and break down for her. And through that process, she was able to plug in and begin to understand, and it really became clear to her what she was doing wrong and what changes she needed to make. And finally, on her 19th iteration of her ads, she had her big breakthrough. It resulted in, over the next 30 days or something like that, at that point, she made like $160,000.
If there was any section of the course that I would say, if there's anything that you want to get obsessed with watching over and over again, it's anything having to do with images. Okay, so when we're talking about taking massive action, just going out there and taking action, doing a lot of things. When it comes to images, I would say images are worth going through any content that we give you on images and reviewing that over and over again and making sure you get every little bit of it. So we're going to give you training on exactly how it works. We're going to give you our swipe file of images that you can go and review them and check those out. We're going to actually share with you a checklist in both a video format and a printed format. And this is something that's really good to go through before you run each ad if you want to set yourself up for the best chance for success from the get-go, because when you nail your image, it's like everything else works. You could have an ad campaign where you've got your ad, and you've got your pre-sale page, and you've got your offer, and you're looking at the pre-sale page and you're saying, like, it doesn't have the click-through rate that I'm aiming for. I'm following the program, and maybe the pre-sale page is a problem, I'm not really sure, but I followed the program. and I've got the offer that I know that other people are promoting that's doing well, but it's not converting for me. I'm not really sure why. And I've got my ad, and it seems like I'm doing everything. What's strange is it's hard to explain this, why, but what happens is when you nail the image, it's like everything else just like starts to work. Like your click-through rates on your pre-sale page will go up, the offer will start converting, and it's like this magical moment when you nail the right image. And so of all the stuff that we're going to cover, the image is one of it's definitely the most important thing that you cannot skip if you want to have success. You can screw up some other stuff, but you got to nail the image. So don't jump the gun on the images. Spend the time to learn the steps on getting the right image, and we'll try and be as detailed as possible on how you can get the right images and spell it out for you. And we've got some really good training that we're going to give you. We've got some videos we've made with our mentors that we've never released to students before, with some examples and some details, and just to show you the process that we go through, how we go to Fiverr and how we get people to make images for us, and some of how we instruct them. And it's gotten more and more effective over time, so that you don't have to test as many ads before you get your winner. So that's our goal for you. I just want to throw that in there.
No, that's really good stuff. Yeah, and you know, the ad challenge, yeah, like Rob was saying, it's so important. I think it's what's going to help you have your big success breakthrough. So just looking at this image on the screen now, you see this yes winner. What is that called? The
trophy.
Trophy, yeah. So once you find that winning ad, this is when your life is about to change. Okay, this is when you're going to be able to take your profit. You start generating profit, and like Rob laid out in the presentation, you know, you turn $20 into $40 or $60, and then that process begins. And within a short time, and for some of you, by the way, some of you are not limited to a smaller budget, you know, where you can only spend $5 a day. Some of you have a bigger budget. You know, you could scale up to where you're spending, you know, $100 a day, $300 a day, $500 a day. Maybe you have a credit card or something. Because as soon as you hit that 100% plus ROI ad image, that's when you want to start scaling. So you could, like I did when I first got started, it was a week before I was up to $5,000 a day. You know, I just took massive action, and when I found that winning image, you know, that's when I decided to scale, and it happened very quickly for me. But if you're on a budget,
the thing to mention that when you're starting out is if you do have a bunch of money, let's say you are going to spend $100 a day, you're not going to want to spend more than $20 a day on an ad. So you would run an ad $20 a day for 3 days. You could run it a little longer if you want to test it. That's up to you. But if you have $100 a day budget, you would want to be testing 5 different ads. Exactly. And so the thing that you would want to test before anything else is the images. So you would want to get 5 different images. And don't test little tiny minor variations. We've seen people that come to us and they show us the ads that they're testing, and it's like basically the same image with like a little tiny variation. You want to test different concepts in your image, different subjects in your image, so that when people look at 2 images, they don't go, oh, that's the same one, but that one has like a little red bit here, or that one has a little line. You don't test the little minor things until you've got an image that's really working. So we'll show you some tricks that you can do with your images to amplify the results of an image once you find a winning image. But these little things that we show you are not the things that make it a winning image, okay? We'll teach you how you can make a winning image, but you want to test different sort of images that are obviously different images.
We'll give you examples of what those look like, and you'll just be able to just emulate exactly what we've already done, what our mentors are doing, what our successful students are doing. And this will all make sense starting on week 2 when we get into images. Okay, so the point though there is that you're going to start scaling and profiting once you get that successful image. And we'll also show you how you can start honing in your images and doing, like Rob was saying, make these subtle changes that can improve your click-through ratios even further and include your ROI. Now, once you get to that point though, where now you got this winning ad, you're going to start seeing a bunch of sales roll through, and you might start seeing dozens of sales every day over that first month. Once you have your big breakthrough image, your big winning ad, you might see hundreds of sales that month. And once you get to a certain point, say about 500 sales, that's when we're going to instruct you to go directly to your vendor and point out the success that you've been having and ask them for a bump. We call it bump time. It's bump time. And the bump time, you can get your commission payout from say 50, 60% up to sometimes 80, 90%. In rare cases, even they'll give you 100%. Because
I'm wondering what is this arrow here? Is that just
pointing
at your head?
Yeah, to us. On our screen, that arrow's pointing to, what is that? Is there something over there?
No, I think that's just a mistake. I don't ignore this arrow.
That's pointing like
giant arrow.
Whatever is on the right side of your screen. But anyway.
Yeah, so the commission bump.
Yeah, so you get the commission bump. The commission bump is from the vendor, and that's going to help you increase your ROI because now you're going to get paid a lot more for every click, for every sale. That allows you to invest more money back into this because you know that instead of making, say, $40 per sale per buyer, that's going to bump you up, an additional 30, 40, 50%, and you'll be able to make, instead of $44, you're making, say $70 or $80 or something like that. So now you may start making more money. Now the next thing that happens is at about that same time, actually, you can go to the affiliate network. So if you're on Facebook, like we'll probably get you started on Facebook at first because it's the best, probably the easiest platform for everyone to kick off. So there's less resistance there than CPA networks and other stuff that we'll be talking about later.
You mean ClickBank, right?
Oh, did I say
you
Facebook?
Yeah.
Facebook. Yeah, with ClickBank, right? You can request faster payouts, and if you're doing high volume sales, a representative will be happy to work with you and help.
You don't actually have to be doing a ton of sales to request the $1,000 time.
The 1 week.
The 1 week payouts, because typically what they do is there's a 2 week delay. So the commissions that you make, they pay out the commissions from 2 weeks ago that are within that time period. And what you can do, so you'll look in your account, and we'll show you this when the time comes, but you can actually go in immediately and say, I want to get paid weekly, but that's not the same thing as the delay.
Yeah.
So there's a delay between the day that you earn the commission and the day they pay it out, which is a different thing from the frequency of payout. So they'll pay out weekly right off the bat if you set up that. But once you start running some sales and you reach out to ClickBank, you can get them to give you a 1 week delay on payments fairly quickly if you're making some sales.
Yep.
It's possible that they will do a 3-day payout. That's pretty limited to the people that do really big volume. So I wouldn't worry about that right now. Once you get to that point, they may just reach out to you and give it to you. Yep. I wouldn't reach out to them and say, hey, can I get 3-day payouts? Because they'll probably be like, no. But chances are that's the kind of thing that once you reach that amount of volume, they'll just reach out to you.
Like they did for Bonnie, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's awesome. By the way, just what does that mean for you? If they give you weekly payouts instead of biweekly, what that means is, well, you get double the ad spend now. You get your money back twice as fast, so you can start scaling faster if your finances are limited in any way. So you get into this cycle and you're profiting and you're plugging your profit back in and you're scaling your ads up. And at that point, you basically have your winning ad, and this is where you're at your 15 minutes a day mark. And it doesn't take that much for you to continue this, to maintain that success. Okay. Now, if you run into big problems, and your ad gets disapproved for some reason, or something comes in that prevents that cycle from happening perfectly, well, then you work with it. That's where you engage support and the mentors and the Q&As and things like that to get back to get your winning funnel back on. We have a lot of tricks that we use, and we teach you how to re-engage. If your funnel like falls out of the vein, we'll teach you how to do that. But at this point, though, what you want to do is you want to start setting up new funnels. Okay, so you keep this one, you maintain this winning offer, and now you're going to start working and doing the same process over again. So now you're going to set up a completely different ad, and you're going to go through that same you know, investing $5 to $20 a day over a 3-day, and then you're going to have eventually you're going to have 2 winning ads that are running side by side in parallel, and then maybe 3. Personally, I don't really go more than like 3 deep. I probably could, but I would rather focus my energy on no more than 3 things, and it's just because I like to be focused. Some people, your mind might work differently, and you might want to run 20 ads in parallel, and you can multitask. But for me personally, what I found is that's where we come back to our mantra of take massive action, stay focused, and never give up. That's part of my focus, is I want to focus my creative energies, because your creative energies are limited. In a single day, you're limited in time, and you're limited in energy, but especially your focus and your creative energies. Those are very, very limited resources. So I don't want to spread myself so thin that I struggle to have, you know, because it only, like Rob said, it only takes 1 image. You know, Victoria made over $300,000 just on a single image, and she was able to do that with 15 minutes a day. So, you know, she didn't really have to have 2, 3, definitely didn't have to have 20. The bottleneck that will come into play for you first, before that anyway, is just how much money that Facebook will allow you to spend each day before they start running into issues, and that's probably going to be around $5,000 a day. Mike was just saying he just got up to like $10,000 a day. Somebody else was just saying that yesterday, a couple days ago. So you can scale up higher than that, but that seems to be like this threshold that you got to break through. So you might do that just off of 1 ad. So, and then if we can scroll down a little further, or basically to the end here, you just scale, rinse, wash, and repeat. And that is the whole thing, guys. That is, it works for people, for the average ordinary person, because of how simple it is. You got to master your mindset. We go back.
So you overcomplicated it. The saying is rinse and repeat.
Oh, see? Yeah, rinse and repeat. So I double complicated that one. But fortunately, I know how to simplify this ad process and this three-step system. So I think that's pretty much it, right? So I don't want to get
we don't want to
deep.
get super deep into that, because we could go into a lot of details, and then you'll start asking questions about things that we're not addressing yet. Right now, we want you to.
There's going to be a loud noise. So it's water. Yeah,
it's water.
It's just water. The breakfast of champions.
Soda water.
Soda water.
So we want to give you an overview of what to expect as we go through the course. Don't stress out about the details of all of this stuff. We will give you everything that you need. You're not going to need anything outside the course. You don't need any software or anything. We'll give that stuff to you. There's some questions on here that we probably have. I don't know if it tells us how many questions we have, but by now we'd probably have like 1,000 questions in here. Yeah, so we're doing our best to answer as many as we can. But as far as stuff that's going to come in the future in each section of the training, don't stress out about that. This week, our goal for you is to help you set up the proper mindset for success. We're going to give you the questionnaire that you can fill out, where you can put in your goals. There's additional questions beyond what we've gone through. So it's not just mindset stuff. It will also be some practical stuff, and it will be helpful for us we'll ask you some questions about sort of your situation and your needs that we can use to help us tailor the training. So we will have an extensive questionnaire, and you can fill out as much as you're comfortable filling out. And then in the case of moving forward and sharing your story with others, if you're willing to do that, we'll include a section where you can let us know whether or not it's okay for us to share your story with others to help inspire others. And for those of you who are comfortable doing it, or even if you're not comfortable and you're willing to step outside your comfort zone a bit, which we would recommend, filming a little selfie video talking about your story and your struggles and what your goals are and what you think will be the things that will stop you and how you're going to press on through those, that kind of stuff. So we'll give you very explicit instructions on what to do there. And just keep an eye out you can check back in the members area, or you can watch for your email. It should be in the next day or so. We'll post the replay to this. Sorry, I keep reaching for the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the screen back over to the presentation. And so So that was the 30,000 foot view profit engine mind map. And so the last thing that we're going to do before we wrap things up is maybe, I don't know what the best way to do this is. Do you want to just slowly walk through what we do and just explain it in really simple terms and just answer questions?
Yeah, I think that would be good. I would love, especially to address beginners. So I know that we've been on for a while now, over 2 hours and 22 minutes. And I know some of you, this is like Saturday afternoon for some of you, and you probably have stuff to do. So if you have experience already, doing, Facebook ads.
It's Friday afternoon.
We're Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
Saturday.
We're in the future.
Depending on where you are in the world, you might have other stuff going on. So if you're already experienced with Facebook ads, you can step off now if you want to. We're going to go into some stuff for beginners. Make sure that you sign up for our social media stuff. A lot of stuff is going to be coming out through there. Get our notifications. But if you got stuff to do, remember that this is also being recorded right now. So you'll be able to access this, and you'll be able to scroll through and hop in wherever you left off. So if you miss out on 10, 15, 20 minutes of this, you can always jump in later. Somebody's asking, how do I access the members area? I just want to point out that if you have not yet gotten access to the members area, I don't know how you're on this call, but but some people are saying that you're having issues. Anybody who's having any issues whatsoever, you can write in an email to support@profitengine.com, and our support staff, which is made up of our students, by the way, they're there to answer any of your questions. If you're wondering, is this going to be covered or is that going to be covered? Are you going to talk about targeting on Facebook? Yes, of course we are. We're going to be covering. There's nothing that's left out, guys. We're not holding something on reserve here. There's only one thing that's held from you, really, and that is direct one-on-one access to us. That's the only thing. Everything else is
correct, right? The members area is members.profitengine.com.
Yes. Now, the only thing that's because we're limited in time. Otherwise, we would do that. And even so, we're trying to link up with you in person in Vegas, and we're making that free to you too. So there's absolutely nothing that we are preventing, that we're trying to hold back from you. Our goal is to help you have success. So that's what we're trying to do here. So as Rob was saying, this catch-up session for beginners, this is something like some of you will probably see my interview that I did with my first one-on-one mentoring student, Gigi. It's out there floating around, or we'll share it with you at some point. She really was a true beginner, and she didn't even know what an Facebook ad was. I had to show her an example of what a Facebook ad was. So we can kind of get into this stuff and make sure if you're a true beginner and you don't know what you're getting into here, we'd like to make you help you understand what a Facebook ad funnel even is, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is an ad, and what happens when who sees your ads? Is your friends? Are you promoting to your friends? No, you're not at all. Your friends aren't even going to know that you're running ads. So should we dive into that first, or is there some other things that you wanted to? Because we could outline and show them what the ad funnel looks like.
Well, we don't have a diagram or anything.
That's true. We can
explain it. But some of the things that I want to explain are just the very basics of websites. Okay. And how.
Do you want to start running through it then? And
sure.
Then when we get to that point, we'll explain. We'll try to cover everything here so that everybody can get up to this same starting point, so we're all on the same page come next Friday, and you don't feel like a beginner. You feel like, okay, you're a little bit knowledgeable here. At least you have the basics before we jump into learning how to set up your ad funnels.
So I want to go as basic as I can possibly go, and if I could go even more basic, just post in the questions box if I can. So the idea is, all right. So there's 3 steps there. If you've been on Facebook and you scroll through your news feed, you see the sponsored post. It says sponsored next to it. We're going to be advertising. We're going to be putting up posts just like that. We do image ads. Okay, we don't do video ads. We don't do any of that stuff, although we're experimenting with that stuff, and we may introduce that to you later in the future. But at the moment, what we're teaching you is image ads. So it's just a simple ad in the news feed. What happens is when somebody clicks on that ad, they then go to your pre-sale page. Okay, so you're going to need to have a website, and you don't need a website with a whole bunch of pages. You just need a very simple website that has your pre-sale page. Your pre-sale page is just one simple page. and we're going to show you how to do that page when we get to which was pre-sale page week 3, I think.
Week
week
3.
1 is offers, week 2 is ads, and
Yeah.
week 3 is okay.
So before anybody starts panicking right there, I'll just jump in here. Don't worry about it. This is not going to be technically too challenging for you. We're going to give you step-by-step instruction on how to take the pre-sale page that we've already created for you, and we'll tell you the exact steps. It's very simple, how to upload that page to a server, how to set up your server, how to get a domain name, all of the simple stuff. I mean, it's super, super simplified. We could have gone down a more complicated path and have you start using some third-party software to create like funnels and hack funnels and do all this stuff, but that's not what we're doing. We're making it so simple that literally there's not a technically challenged person that can't do this. So all you need to be able to do is follow instructions, and you'll be able to have success with this. If you can create a meal based off of a recipe, you can follow instructions and you can emulate a recipe, then you can do this. So don't panic about that.
Okay, so this is good. So for example, Jan says don't know what a newsfeed is.
Yeah, okay.
So
good.
so on Facebook, when you go to, should I just go to Facebook?
You can, yeah. We can ask, do you know what Facebook is? Some of you might not even know. Do you know what a computer is? We can go back even further here.
Let me open up Facebook.
Sure, and we'll see if we can find
All right.
See if we can find a sponsored post. Now, you don't have to ask so many questions. If you don't understand something, that's fine. But you don't have to ask, about whether we're going to teach you something. I guarantee you, whatever it is that if you're wondering if it's going to be covered, it's going to be covered. And if it's not covered, it's because it's not important. And one of Rob and my own strategies in teaching is that we like to carve away all the fat and leave the meat. It's only the stuff that matters that's going to take you as quickly as possible to the money. That's the stuff that we're going to teach you here. And we're going to eliminate the stuff that typically results in overwhelm, which results oftentimes in people failing because they give up because there's just too damn much stuff to learn, and so we don't want you to deal with overwhelm. So what Rob's trying to do right now
is Facebook broken? Where's all the ads? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So the first ad that we have is
this is a video ad. We don't do video ads. We do image ads.
You can keep scrolling, or I don't think it really matters that much whether it's video or not. Although that might not be good for webinar. Maybe we should scroll up to an image.
Yeah, we're running the live feed of our webcam, so that might be slowing down.
If there's a video on the screen,
there's like a delay on my browser.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm scrolling on right now is the news feed. So there we go. Here's a image ad.
How do you find your news feed? You just click on your name, or no? That's your post.
You just go to Facebook.
News feed. Yeah. They automatically pull up your news feed. So whatever you see when you first log in. So here's an example. Alpha Lion. Now, what images a person sees, what ads a person sees. This is an ad. Okay. So this sponsored post, AKA a Facebook ad. This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be becoming very knowledgeable and successful in life by posting these simple little ads on Facebook, and you're paying. So what's happening here, you want to kind of like dissect for them what an ad is and what it looks like, how this actually works.
No,
okay.
I think it's too soon.
It's too soon.
I don't want to get into all that. I want to get into the basics.
Well, I mean, I want them to understand what's happening though, like what an ad funnel is. It's just an image. It's just an ad here, and if you click on this ad, it's going to take you somewhere. Okay.
Well, this guy's. I mean, I think I understand what an ad is. So this guy's ad, you click. Oops. I don't know how to set up.
Go to send. He's actually running a
different kind of ad.
Yeah. His call to action is to have you send him a message. Normally, what we do is we have you click a link that says read more, or if you click on the image, it takes you.
See, I don't want to get into a lot of details. I want to cover stuff like what is a website, how does the internet work?
Okay, sure, I mean? Yeah, start.
These
there.
are not deep questions.
We will get into this.
We're going to get into ads in the ads section. Okay, so the question here that we're trying to answer is what is a news feed? Okay, that was the basics that I want to keep it at. So I don't want to get into anything that's going to distract people because we're not on the ads until week 2.
But I do want, like, this is something that I did for Gigi, is I helped her understand what an ad funnel, what the whole process, the 3-step system is, so they can at least see that there's an ad and it goes somewhere, and then it eventually goes to an offer. You know, it just so it's in their brain, so they understand the basic concept of what it is that you're trying to do. So you will be posting an ad on Facebook, and when somebody clicks on that ad, they will be taken to a pre-sale page, and then they will be clicking on that and being taken to an offer where they can buy something. So that's the basic funnel that we're going to be teaching you how to set up. So
Okay.
What other questions we got?
So you will need a website. So we're going to tell you, we're going to give you instructions on how to pick a domain name. It doesn't matter that much, but it matters a little bit. And so we'll give you instructions on that. We'll show you how you can purchase it. You're going to need a web hosting where you can host that domain name, where you can actually put the files that make up a web page. Okay, so
every single person who has a web page on the internet, it's those files that it takes to present that web page to the public are hosted somewhere on some computer that's somewhere. It's called hosting. So we'll instruct you on how to set up and how to purchase a monthly account where somebody has a server. You know, it's like a little computer somewhere that's in a bulletproof room. That's so your website's never going to go offline. And we're going to instruct you where to go to buy that. It's like $5, $10 a month, something like that. A domain name is like $10 a year, something like that. Mm-hmm. So we'll instruct you the real basics: how to set up your domain, how to point that to your hosting, how to set up your hosting. And so at the end of that process, after week 2 or after week 3, you will have your pre-sale page hosted online. You'll be able to type in your domain and go to your own website. Very simple stuff.
And so you will log into Facebook. You will go into your ad account, your ad editor. We will be using, you can use the Power Editor, but we're going to go into that later, that kind of stuff later. We're not going to get too deep into tech stuff right now, but it's pretty straightforward to use, but we'll give you training on that. So there's some questions in here about things. I see recurring questions a lot, and I'm going to repeat myself a few times here just to make sure that you understand. You don't use WordPress. You don't need a page builder. You don't need anything else outside of Profit Engine. We're going to give you the pre-sale page, and you're going to follow the simple step-by-step instructions that we give you to upload that pre-sale page onto your web hosting so that you can use that pre-sale page on your site. You don't need anything else outside of Profit Engine. So everybody who's asking about WordPress and page builders and all this stuff, don't worry. We will give you exactly what you need. So I see, can I use ClickBank Builder? I don't know what that is. We're not using anything else. Is it a WordPress site? No. Okay, so I see questions over and over again about this. You don't need anything else outside of what we're going to give you to run your pre-sale page. So hopefully that answers that.
Somebody was saying that their audio is cutting out. I'm sorry about that, but it probably will not be in our replay. So in our replay, hopefully our audio is going to come through perfectly. It's probably something to do with your connection.
You know what? Let me close down the internet so we don't have
too much lag.
Yeah, I think because we're doing the streaming webcam, that's probably competing.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's not something. Is anybody else have you been experiencing audio issues at all? No ClickFunnels, no, nothing. So, okay, good.
I'm going to explode if most people keep asking for other stuff.
Absolutely nothing. We will provide every single thing that you need. And if you get too dependent on some third-party website builder, you're already overcomplicating it. Our system is so much more simple than any of that. You think that you need something else, you just don't.
That's something we should address that we didn't address before, is that aside from our 3 things that you need to do, the other thing, that the mistakes that people typically make are they either overcomplicate the system. They try to do stuff outside of what we say. Like we say, don't use any of these other things, and then they come back and say, can I use ClickFunnels?
Yeah.
No, don't use ClickFunnels. Don't use WordPress. Don't use anything else. I don't know what ClickBank Builder is, but that's not the same thing as our system. So if you want to use our system, use our system. Okay. If you want to do, like, people will come and say, can I do video ads? We say, well, no, that's not our system. Okay, if you're going to go do that, you're losing focus. Okay, we want you to focus on our system and do it the way that we're going to show you. Now, once you start having success with our system, then you'll be in the position where you can start experimenting. But don't start experimenting before you've gone through the proven method and followed it to completion and had the success. That's the point where you've reached that you can start experimenting. But otherwise, you're going to be spinning your wheel trying to reinvent the wheel, you know, because we've already gone through all of this stuff. We've experienced all of this stuff. Our students have experienced it. And you don't need to go and experiment with a whole bunch of stuff to find out what works, because we've already done it. That's why you joined our course, is so that we could teach you our method and you could emulate our method to have the same sort of results that we have and our mentors have and our students have. So that's another thing that we're going to harp on a lot over the coming weeks, because a lot of the questions that come in are generally people saying stuff like, well, can I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And our answers fall in line with something along the lines of, no, do what we say, you know? And so people come and they question the stuff that we do, and we come back and we say, no, you don't need to go and use that thing. You don't need to do that thing. We've tested all of these things, and we've found the thing that's the simplest and the fastest and the easiest and the most scalable and the most profitable with this system. So people will come in and they'll say, well, can I build an email list? What if I put like a form on there to generate, you know, a lead? And we say, no, we don't do that. We tested that. Okay, some people do that, but it's a totally different method. It screws up the ROI. You don't get paid right away. Like, there's a whole bunch of details on why that doesn't work and why that overcomplicates things. You know, so stick with what we're doing first and foremost.
What you need to do is you need to put your trust in us. I don't want to like toot our own horn or anything here, but there's a reason that 8 out of the top 10 super affiliates in the world they use our system, and they all started out as newbies having no success online. It's because they followed our system and they got past the hurdle of trying to reinvent the wheel, of they just gave up control. They just invested their faith and their trust in this system, and they did nothing but just listen and emulate and follow the steps. That's what we're here for, is to show you and to get you out of your own way, and to remove the complications, because you're already trying to overcomplicate it now, saying that there's too many, you know, just all these different things. Can I be thinking ahead? Can I be doing this? What you're really asking is, can I overcomplicate this? Can I reinvent the wheel? Can I do things that you're not instructing me to do to get ahead? No, none of that. It's only going to take you in reverse. So it's a really important point. That's why we harp on it so much, because we want to get you out of your own way.
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest takeaway that I can give you from this section, is not to try and overcomplicate things, not to try and reinvent the wheel, and go with the proven stuff that's proven. So
Jill says, you know, I just joined another program on how to do, I won't say what it is, but some other business model. Should I get my money back? What should I do? I'm not saying that you should get your money back. I'm not going to give you any
advice on that.
Yeah, but what I will say is that pick one and focus on the one that resonates with you the strongest. And I say that the important factors to keep in mind there is, does the business model ring true to you? Does it seem like it's doable? Do the people behind the program, do they resonate with you? You know, pick your mentor, pick your coach. Make sure that it's somebody who just resonates with you, and you feel like, I want this guy, or I want these guys to be my teachers, and whatever feels strongest, focus on that. It doesn't really matter if it's, my goal is to help you have success. I really don't care if it's through our program or something else, to be honest with you. I just want to see people succeed. I know that we have what it takes. I know that our program is the simplest thing out there. It's scalable. It has all the makings that are needed to take a newbie to success in the shortest path possible. So yes, my personal suggestion is going to be to focus on our program only, and do not allow any outside distractions to prevent you from focus.
Okay,
keep it simple, stupid. Yes, Ash.
I think we've covered most of everything. I think most of the questions that are coming in are things that we will cover in the individual weeks. So I don't want you to get too far ahead and worry about a lot of little details. I don't want you to worry about what you're going to do on the pre-sub page, because we'll show you what to do when we get into that training. Right now, I want you to focus on mindset, setting your goals, going through the process of the questionnaire. We'll give you the mind map to download, and we'll give you watch out for your email, and if you don't see the email, log into the members area tomorrow as well. So and check your spam folder if you're not getting your emails. Make sure to whitelist us, by the way. The email should come from, I believe it's from Rob and Gary at profitengine.com. So
if you're not on our social media, go out and do that right now. Go follow the links. We can go back to that screen and allow people to see the links. That now would be a great time before you get off of this call to go to YouTube to follow us on there. Click the little bell so that you'll get notifications every time we post something over there. Go to my Facebook, go to Instagram, and follow us there. If you are not already on Facebook, like I've seen people post here, I know that that's probably not many of you. Most people in the world are on Facebook, and if you are not yet, that's something that you can do now. Go ahead and sign up for your Facebook account and start learning the basic stuff. Don't worry about setting up your ad account or anything like that, but at least get on Facebook and familiarize yourself, set up your profile and stuff. Okay, what else? Anything else? I mean, there's literally, guys, I know that some of you are saying like, are you not seeing my question? Literally thousands of 1,000 questions or more that have come through. So unfortunately, we can't teach and read every single question. We're just kind of browsing through them.
We're trying to set you up with the right mindset, and not so you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't get stressed out about things that you don't need to worry about yet. Because if we answered, we're already going on nearly 3 hours. So if we just answered all the questions, we could be on here for another 3 or 4 hours easily.
But you do need to be able to access the members area. You do need to be able to access our support department if you have any questions throughout the week. You do need to, get in there so that you can get our homework. And between now and next Friday, what you need to do is follow our instructions in the members area. We're going to be sending out through email and through the members area to make sure that you go through these little catch-up processes. And then don't worry about anything else. Take the week, get excited about this, go out and start checking out some of those sponsored posts, on there. So you're going to see ads by the way, any of the sponsored posts that you see, you might wonder like, why are you seeing this post? It's probably because of the interaction that you make on Facebook. So if you like something, that kind of goes into your profile. Facebook looks at that and says, well, they're interested in bulldogs, or some pets, or they're interested in whatever it is that the actions that you're taking on Facebook. So they put this profile together and they serve ads or sponsored posts to people based on what your interests are.
I'm just going to show them just so they know that we're not
full
of ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm going to show it so now they can see. Well, actually, I don't know if they can see the question box. They probably can't see the question box.
Oh, no, I don't know if they can or not.
Oh.
I doubt it. I think it's probably always hidden. There's literally, I can take a screenshot of it. Yeah, there's so many questions here. But yes, so, familiarize yourself and come to understand what that looks like. Click on a few ads that are actually maybe you'd be interested in and see what happens when you click on an ad, where you're going, because that's what you're going to be doing over the next week, is you're going to be doing this. Yeah, so I know you guys are excited. I can see some of you are like, oh, let's go. I want to get going on this. I understand. But listen, success like this is not a race. Success is about taking the right steps in the right order in the right time.
So they can probably see that screen.
Okay, you can probably see that one. Can you see our Rob's Jing? Is that's only a screenshot though? They can't see.
Yeah, that's a screenshot. So you can see this is if I scroll up.
Oh God, it goes
that's
on.
That's one screen we got.
It goes on forever and ever and ever.
Here, watch this.
It's about 100 times higher than that.
Hang on. I just want people to understand that we are going to answer all of your concerns are going to be covered.
Yeah, you need to feel comfortable knowing that.
Actually, I won't do that. That might mess up.
Yeah, you need to just feel confident that you have plenty of time to get your questions answered. I just want to make sure that that when you get off of this call, that you have the essentials, that you can access the members area, that you can access your homework, which is, like I said, is going to be filling out this questionnaire so that you can give us your before story. And we'll give you some instructions on how to prepare for that. That you get connected to our social media so that when we post, Rob says that everything goes in the members area. Actually, that's true. Everything about this training goes in the members area. However, we do connect with you on social media, so that's another thing. Some of the things we post out there, that'll be useful for you, especially if you're interested in that reality TV show, some of the stuff that we're doing, some of the other stuff that we're going to be doing, like the 30-day Ultimate Freedom Challenge. If you want to challenge yourself to improve on 8 key categories of your life, a lot of that stuff's going to get posted out there on social media. We're going to be engaging our audience, not just our members, but we're going to be challenging everyone, all of our friends out there, to be taking part of this. So that's going to be really exciting. If you want to have a better life, not just more money, but also more success in every area of your life, that makes it worthwhile right there, just to connect with us. If you want to see daily teachings from me on lifestyle design and with Rob and I, how we're engaging our community and the rest of the world on some of these really interesting stuff, YouTube is probably the best channel to get connected with. So that's important too. So
okay, so let me just ask you, this is our first training, so can you give us a little bit of feedback? Was it helpful? How do you feel now going forward? Do you feel confident, excited? If you have some trepidations, that's fine too, but just type in really quickly and I'll read through this. We got excellent, great, yes, excited, very helpful, good, good but long. Yeah, we'll stick around. When we need to, we'll stick around and help you.
There's nothing ever that you can't pick up by going back to the recording. So yes, it's better for you to be part of the live group, but you don't necessarily have to. You can always watch the replay inside of the members area. Might not have the ability to ask questions, but as you can see with a big group like this, sometimes it's hard to get to every question anyway. So you can always hop off if you have to. Don't worry about that.
So,
oh, somebody was asking, so they said they just got here late. So anybody who's gotten here late, you know, you're asking how can you access the replay to this? It's going to be in the members area. Okay, so everything's going to be in there. Don't worry about it. You can get in there right after this, or well, not right after, but within the next 24 hours, you'll have access to this. So you'll be able to go in there and watch the first half of the presentation if you missed it. Okay.
All right. So there you should be able to see the screen. You can see that everybody's very excited. So you're in good company, and we're very excited to get started with this. But we want to make sure that we help set you up for the best chances for success from the beginning. And mindset is so important. We found in the past that it's such a huge hurdle for people that it's critically important that we address it right at the beginning, and we help get you the right motivation, help you set your goals, help you figure out what the potential obstacles are going to be that you might face, and give you a plan moving forward on that. So we want to do that first this week, and then next week we're going to dive in quickly into what you're going to need to do to start running ads as quickly as possible so that you can get to your breakthrough as fast as you can.
So please, guys, please seriously take this seriously, the mindset aspect of this training. We wouldn't have taken the time to do this if we didn't genuinely feel that this was vital to your success. And nobody is left out of this. You know, you might think that your mindset is perfect, but everyone can improve. If you're here on this call and you're not already making, you know, a ton of money and you're not financially free, then you do need to develop yourself. You do need to improve your mindset, and that's what this week is all about. So that's going to get you to that point where you are mentally focused and you understand our mantra, you understand what your why is and why you're here, and what your goals are. This is really important stuff. So hopefully as soon as you get off of here, watch out over the next few hours, and if you got to go to sleep tonight or whatever, it's not there yet, wake up in the morning and just start your day checking the members area, and we'll outline everything for you so you can go through, fill out the questionnaire, and take some time and really think about what is your why, what are your stories, and we'll have some additional questions in there for you. Everything will be outlined for you. So
we're going to review all of these questions afterwards because it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
See all the stuff that we missed.
Like I said, Joel, keep an eye out. I'll connect with you through social media since you reached out to me on Facebook. Anybody, by the way, anybody who reaches out to me on Facebook, keep in mind that we've gotten, like for our reality TV show, we got over 1,000 video submissions just in the last 2 weeks alone. We do have member, students and our audience reaching out to us a lot. So I can't get to every question, every post, every message, but ones that stand out to me, and we're trying to resolve that problem. So sometimes direct messages, I'll try to get to every single message that comes out to me there. But Joel, we're going to be sending you hopefully some inspiration from your new family here. So everybody's rooting for you. And again, we want to thank you for hopping on here as a special guest. Anything else that we should cover? I think that's pretty much it. I know that I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. This is great fun, great exciting time for Rob and I. We want to get in here and start teaching you guys and helping as many of you as possible have your big breakthrough.
And we will be developing a knowledge base so that when we have questions, you will be able to refer back to the knowledge base to get common questions answered. So we will be adding to that as we go, but we don't want to overwhelm you now. We're not going to add answers to questions that you don't need to be focusing on yet. Right now, you need to be focusing on setting your goals and your mindset, the week 1 stuff, taking massive action on week 1. Or I guess I should say this is week 0.
Week 0.
Week mine as well.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll jump into when we shut down the course to everybody who hasn't joined, then we could put 100% of our focus on
you guys,
helping you to have success. So
are you guys excited? You excited about this? I hope so. I know that we are.
I didn't see, but you see how much scrolling?
We're not the only ones
that
excited.
screenshot that I showed you, I'm still scrolling.
Wow.
Okay, so that's where we had questions right there, starting at 10:45. Anyway, so yeah, so I can do page down about 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6,
4,
7, 8,
5,
9, 10.
About five times hitting page down of people saying they're very excited.
Good. Okay, good. Well,
right,
hopefully
so
that will translate to taking massive action in this program, because I'm sure that that's going to make all the difference, guys. Okay, so thank you for joining us for this kickoff of the program. Anything else you want to say before we shut it down?
Just thank you and welcome.
Thank
keep
you.
an eye out for your email and make sure to log in regularly to the members area. Everything will be as clear as possible in there. So you'll see, we'll set up the look on the page so that it's as clear as possible where you can go to see each week's trainings.
Yes, like Rob mentioned, if you go inside there and you see like a link isn't working to the support or something, it's a little tech thing that we're working out. Write down the support at profitengine.com. That's the email. You can send an email to that address anytime. That will get you a ticket set up inside of the support department so you can engage with our support representatives anytime for any question, anything that you have. Keep in mind that they're mostly going to be focusing on making sure that everything is set up, that you have access to the program, that you have access to all the materials that you need, and then you'll save your
the strategy questions will be addressed in the weekly calls.
So you want the mentors and Rob and I to be answering all of your technical or all of your strategy-based questions, but all of your tech questions can go to the tech department. Okay, cool, awesome.
All right, thanks everybody. We'll post the replay in the members area as soon as we can, hopefully in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
And keep an eye out for your email. And thank you so much.
Adios.
I thought you wanted a high five.
Oh yeah, let's do it. All
right.
Thanks guys.
Bye everybody. See you soon.